Hey guys, J-Man here in the danger room. Something's weird with the timer. It looked like we were live, but I don't know. It said we were live, but I didn't see anything. If anyone's in the comments, was that weird? I'm trying this on a different computer in my like office, my home office, because my laptop is just completely messed up. So we're just trying it out here. Let me know if you guys can hear me or if that was weird going live. It looked like I was live a minute before and I didn't even hit go live. So I have no idea what the hell's going on. Anyway, we're gonna try to work with this crap. I'm gonna try to get I'm gonna have to buy a new laptop or something because like the internet conks out every time. And I know it's not my internet because everything else works perfectly. So let me know if my audio is okay and all that stuff. All right, let's bring in Steve. What's going on, Steve?
Last couple of days have been hell.
Yeah. So you got your second shot.
Yeah, I got my second shot, Moderna. First one was Pfizer. This one's Moderna. And funny thing is that the first time I didn't really feel anything. I got a sore arm like the day after. I felt kind of tired, but like nothing like ridiculous.
Hey, Sean.
This time, like Friday night, it's literally like, I know you've never been hungover, J-Man, but it was like a combination of being hungover and having the flu. It was like ridiculous. I literally felt like there was a conga band in my freaking head. So anyone getting the second shot after having Pfizer or Moderna the first shot, don't plan anything for the next couple of days because you won't be able to do anything. Believe me.
Moderna is the one everyone's afraid of because of that. Like, I've never heard anyone take that as their second dose and it's fine. Like, I don't, And the thing, it's funny because they're soliciting. Like, I got I don't have my second dose yet, but I got a solicitation for Moderna specifically because they have so many of them.
Yeah,
but no one wants to take it, right? And Trudeau took his, and it was Moderna as well. So.
I got Pfizer the first time, so we'll see. Mine's on this Thursday, so I don't know what's going to happen. If there's going to be so we're supposed to do the Halloween movies this Saturday.
Yeah,
I've rescheduled the Halloween movies for the 17th or whatever, whatever the next Saturday is.
Yeah.
Just because. Hey, Greymalkin, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys fine. You guys are good.
Cool.
Happy Independence Day, Greymalkin.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Oh no,
Happy 4th of July.
Oh no, ours was my 4th of July was 2 weeks ago, Juneteenth.
Yeah, Juneteenth. Yeah.
It's a regular day to me, and just like, okay, fine.
But Juneteenth is now a holiday.
Yes,
so yeah,
yes, it is. We made it, kinda. Make it.
Yeah, in like 2021, but yeah.
You can't quote the today. We celebrate our Independence Day.
2 weeks ago, we celebrated, but they didn't tell us. So I've just been watching X-Men all day, as you can see in the background.
Yeah, I see that. Well, so for you guys that aren't in the know, Scarlet Witch is dead.
Yeah.
She was found dead, and Magneto was last seen with her, as we know.
Okay. All right. Sorry to cut you off, but before I even say anything, the last person we saw her with was the person who found her body.
That's true.
So, and also, Magneto there's no motive.
Right.
There's no
it's
motive.
Not Magneto, obviously, because this is one of these things, because the next book that's coming out is called The Trials of Magneto. So if Magneto's guilty, then it's going to be like, Magneto, you are guilty. Okay. There's no point, right? Like it's like an episode of Perry Mason or something. If it's the person you think it is, then why are we watching this?
So he killed his daughter?
Well, no, he's not his daughter. Like what she did, she used her magic to change facts to fit her narrative. See, it's crazy. It's like, oh, you're not my dad because you chose mutants over us. But then, oh wait, you're not my dad. Like, what kind of imaginary haberdashery is that?
So wait. So what is the score right now? Is Magneto I thought that got changed a few years ago. That he's not Scarlet Witch's dad.
No, he's
not.
No, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
And is it switched back to like the wizard and all that stuff, or is it something else?
not yet. It hasn't been changed since Axis. It's been like what 6 years.
But who is her dad then?
It's actually the guy that some gypsy guy. His name is Django Maximoff.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Which is really funny.
Django?
Yeah, Django.
Oh,
Yeah, so isn't that the guy like so the wizard is her adoptive father, maybe?
Oh yeah,
No.
High Evolutionary. Yeah.
In the original, the very first comics, it was Wizard and some other character from another company. I can't remember her name. With the parents,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
like
it turned out to be
Lady
Magneto,
Liberty.
and it was like that for a long time, and that's what people remember, you know.
No, but then it was revealed in West Coast. I just or Vision and Scarlet Witch. I don't remember. I'm reading all of those when WandaVision came out. I was rereading those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they said, yeah, it wasn't the wizard. I thought it was Lady Liberty, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, that rings a bell. Yeah.
I think so. So it's those two. But then it's like, oh no, it was that cow woman or whatever.
But the
Yeah,
cow I
Bova,
thought was
Bova.
their maid.
High Evolutionary.
Yeah, I thought
Bova.
High
that was
Evolutionary.
Yeah, but Bova was their maid,
Yeah.
not like their mother.
No, I'm saying the cow woman or whatever. I don't says that. Oh, this man or someone dropped the woman dropped you off or whatever, and then she took care of her, and that was Magneto.
Right. Yeah.
Magneto's
Magneto's wife. Yeah.
wife or
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then they say, oh, it's Magneto, but then they're saying no, it's not Magneto. It's I don't know if it's then. So I don't know if it's back to Lady Liberty and the Wizard.
It
Oh, no,
wouldn't be, but
It's
yeah.
just gypsies that like some gypsy couple and the whole everything is right except for all the Magneto stuff, which is kind of funny if you really think about it, because Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, they're saying like, oh, you ran out on us. Like, no, your mother left without telling me that she was pregnant, and I looked for you and I thought she was dead. And it's funny how they never got the full story about that.
Yeah.
And then like it's like how would you know they were your kids? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. He wasn't thinking about his kids. He's like, right there, who thought like, oh, his kid wants to look like me. Okay, that's cool. And this brown haired girl, oh, she kind of looks like some girl I used to date. I was married to, but no, that's like the ages don't line up. So it's reasonable.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Maybe Scarlet Witch created herself.
At this point, it's plausible.
I
From
mean,
the sounds of it.
seriously.
Like, okay, so Scarlet Witch is dead, and in the comics
No,
right
she's-
now, which kind of sucks. Like, I don't know if they're gonna bring her back because everyone hates her, right? Like, she's the
What?
unmeanable. She's the Voldemort of. She's the Voldemort of Krakoa. They don't want. They're like, oh, you're not supposed to use your name.
No. She's more so the Sirius Black. She
Okay.
has a bad reputation, but really, she's a good person. My
Right.
entire stance on Scarlet Witch has changed this week. Okay, I was just like last week. She's a scum-sucking road horse. She ruined my life. This week, she's fabulous, but she's evil.
I like Scarlet Witch. I mean, I'm only liking her a little bit more now after watching WandaVision, to be honest. And now, not because of WandaVision, but going back and rereading, because when I was young, to me, Vision was like the coolest, and the White Vision when I was reading the West Coast, and then into Avengers with all of that. And I know I don't know how else to say it. I'm going to call him.
No.
He's White Vision, man.
He's white. I don't know.
You say White Vision, I'll say on 4th of July, so it's kind of funny.
He's the White Vision, and no, but I mean, and I never cared about Scarlet Witch because I always thought, oh, she was kind of whiny. She's like, oh, I wish you were back to the normal thing. I'm like, well, I like you as the White Vision, so I don't want you as the. But I like her more now, so she's definitely climbing the ranks as I go back and read. But so we'll see what happens. It's not going to be if Magneto's the killer, then what is the point of that? Of the trials of Magneto, right?
I have a couple of theories. It's been 4 days. I have 4 different theories. One more wild than the next.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah. Go ahead.
Mystique.
Yeah.
I've stated as a plan, because she knows that they're gonna bring her back. But they would then she can say like, okay, how is it okay for you to bring the pretender back, but you can't bring back my wife?
Yeah.
And at which somebody should say, she's not your real wife. You couldn't get married. You weren't legalized to get married in those days.
The mutants follow their own laws. Yeah, I know. I have a feeling it is Mystique, but that seems to be the going theory.
I think it's Mastermind.
Oh yeah.
Like, because
because where did he go after Hellions? There, he's gone. He's gone. We don't know where that
showed up in X Corp.
Oh, he's an X Corp, right? The most boring X-Men book of all time. But yeah.
No. Children of the Atom is the most boring. It's
Children of the Atom is the worst, but X Corp is quite boring.
But also, I think it could be Shadow King. The last one is a team because the way they found Scarlet Witch with strangulations on her throat is similar to how they found Scout over in the Mutants. So
Scout's dead too, by the way, which is Honey Badger, if you don't know.
Oh yeah.
Wolverine's either youngest or his granddaughter, depending on who you talk to.
I don't know. I was confused on that. People were saying that, like, well, she's technically considered a clone, so they're not going to resurrect her.
That's true too, and that's another way they can go into Inferno. Like, except for my second theory, all other theories leading to Inferno, all of it leads it with clones. And because also you got to remember, if they bring back Scarlet Witch, they would have to tell the Avengers about the resurrection protocols, and no one knows about the resurrection protocols yet.
Right.
But nobody knows that they can bring mutants back to life. So if humanity were to find out, they're going to get even more butthurt because their anger isn't really real. Humanity's anger, oh, you took Mars. You weren't using it. Oh, you beat Dev. You didn't. Why, you mad? Like, hey, if you pay us a little bit more, we can put you in on that. But no.
Can they resurrect a human being? But only if Cerebro got their patterns, right?
Yeah, theoretically. I mean, like, Sinister has Psylocke's daughter's DNA on file.
Oh yeah.
But she doesn't have the mind. They don't have the mind, so like, it's kind of like they can build the clones, but they need the mind in order to make it work. Otherwise, it's a clone. Otherwise, it's just Power Girl.
Right.
So
DC.
Sorry, is there a new Inferno or what is
it's coming?
But it's like another crossover called Inferno.
Yes, that's coming.
Because I was confused. There's an Inferno prologue omnibus on Amazon, well, .ca, but probably .com as well.
Yeah, pre-order, right?
It's pre-ordered, yeah. But I was like, oh, they already had an Inferno omnibus. Like, why this? But I think it is still the old Inferno.
Oh no, they're going to incorporate certain things from Inferno because ever since the gala, they've hinted that the Marvel Illuminati's back together. They established that the Demon Illuminati is together. Like, Krakoa is scaring everybody on the human level and on the mystical level. Everybody has their own little secret now. It's weird.
So what was the fourth theory? You mentioned Shadow King, Mastermind, Mystique. Who's your fourth one?
Krakoa.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Krakoa. It's a lie. Like,
J-Man's favorite character.
It's a lie.
Krakoa, like, that's kind of a long shot, but like, Krakoa could get away because the way they found her body, like on Krakoa, everybody's supposed to be able to see what you're doing. So how? Like, unless it's Krakoa, it has to be Krakoa controlling somebody or Krakoa itself.
Yeah,
that's really interesting. If that's what
it is, Gray. It's so clever and diabolical.
That's very clever. Yeah,
it is. Yeah,
I'm clever. I'm clever. I like to do clever stuff sometimes.
The thing is, I'm in my office, my home office where I do my day job when I work from home. My laptop's just being really weird and it's just giving all these problems. So I thought, let me just do it from here. I'm going to try to get a new laptop or something, or I can try again, but I just didn't want to mess with it. And I'm super tired today. I've been like And Steve's had his second shot, so he's not feeling well.
You're vaccinated.
I'm vaccinated.
Yeah.
Now you can kind of come into the country.
I can come in. I can't bring anyone with me. My mother actually cannot get vaccinated. So
what?
Yeah.
I thought you would the older you are, the bigger chances you are getting it first.
No, she can't get vaccinated. She's got allergies that do not allow her to take any vaccinations. So.
Ooh. So wait, your mom could be the last person on earth if the vaccine turns bad on everybody.
She could. She might be that last woman on earth.
It'll be the Omega woman.
Right. Or the Mega Woman.
Hey, Ambassador, what's going on, dude? Happy 4th of July, yes.
Happy 4th of July,
guys.
Happy White Vision Day, Ambassador.
I saw the Tomorrow War.
How was it?
I thought it was freaking awesome.
Yeah,
man.
what the hell?
What the hell? Okay, there's like 20 minutes of extra action in the Arctic at the end. I'm like, what's going on here? Like that movie, literally that movie's winding down. I'm like, okay, did you see it yet, Stephen, or no?
Okay, no, I didn't.
Great, you didn't. Okay, so I won't spoil it, but
no, it's just
literally it's 2 hours and 20 minutes, and it could end after 2 hours, and you'd be like, that was very satisfactory. But then there's this 20 minutes extra action for no reason other than to just be cool. And that whole thing at the end, dude, I'm like, this is so awesome.
It's like in the daylight, like super daylight.
Yeah,
all this BS about we have to do CGI at night because it's easier for the shadows to contour the thing and make it look realistic. No, you're just lazy as shit.
They're lazy.
Yeah. Not only is it like a daytime, but also there's mega snow, so it makes it even brighter.
Yeah.
But the whole movie, all of the action you could see it all very clearly in the day.
Yeah.
When they drop them the first time, and then you're like, holy shit. And it's it gets okay. And people are saying it's slow in the beginning. Oh my God.
It ramps up a half an hour in. I'm like, oh my God. I thought it was going to be boring. So I put it on the background so I can work. Right. And then as soon as the action started, I'm like, I can't work. I got to watch that.
I'm going to say 8 out of 10 for the space reviews, man, because I thought it was super exciting. Okay, look. Somebody, I know you guys on the Action Elite were like, well, there's a couple predictable parts. Yeah, but they're not dumbass predictable parts. And the foreshadowing or the predictable things happened right away. The second he interacts with another character, it's said right away. And I'm like, exactly. So it's not.
Yeah, I admired it for the fact that they didn't drag that out. It's we're not stupid too. We know what it is. We
know what it is.
Yeah.
And I knew. I was like, oh, I know what's going to happen, and it's so obvious, but it's not dragged out. It's said right there. I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. And there's no dumbassery in it. There's stuff where you're like, oh yeah, this character is really good, and then it's like they're dead. You're like, oh, I liked that character. What happened? And you're just like, oh, I guess they're dead. You're like, oh, okay. It was awesome, man. I like Chris Pratt, man. He's cool.
I like Chris Pratt because he's I look at him like he's a douche. Everything about him is a douche. Even in Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm like, Guardians of the Galaxy was great except for Chris Pratt.
Oh, I love Star-Lord.
I don't get it.
I love Star-Lord.
I think he's played his character from Parks and Rec ever since.
Yeah,
it's that character all the time, right?
Yeah,
especially in Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Not in Tomorrow War.
No, he's a bit. His mannerisms are there, but he's more of an actual adult in that thing. He's not a man-child.
And the funny bits are not him telling a joke. It's just kind of a funny thing. It's like, oh, so you're a scientist and a soldier? He's like, yeah, it's a long story. He's like, I'm kind of a soldier. I was in the military. He's like, I guess it wasn't a short story.
Yeah, he saved me in Jurassic World because otherwise that movie was garbage.
Oh, boy.
He was going to be part of it.
After that.
I don't know the Raptors. Okay, I don't care about the human characters. If they were to do a Jurassic Park movie with no humans and just focusing on the animals, so basically Planet Earth, Jurassic Park.
Right.
That That's the promise. I want to see.
I'm fine with humans. I don't know why people say it's like if they did something without the humans, you'd piss yourself, like complaining about how shit it was. It's like, listen, you gotta do humans, but the thing is, they shouldn't do just predictable bullshit humans or non-stop humans. Like that's horse shit, right? It's still about the dinosaurs. I didn't see the last Jurassic Park. I'm not a big Jurassic Park guy. It came when I was like, I think I was maybe 16 when the first one came out, and it was cool. Yeah. But like I've never cared much about I'm surprised they're making so many. I've never cared that much about Jurassic Park. It's the same, I know, but it's the same premise over and over again. They were gonna do like a Dino Hunters type of thing where like they're losing a city and they get some crack team to come in and hunt them one by one. That would have been cool, but they never did that. It's just go back to that park, reopen the park, and they eat more people. Like, why would you not think that's gonna happen, right? It's the same thing over and over and over again.
Oh, okay, I'm with you. Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, and even Jurassic Park 3. But Jurassic Park 2 was different. Lost World was different, and Fallen Kingdom was different. Because
Fallen Kingdom was different for sure.
Yeah. And also, I'm going to say this hot take: Lost World was better than the first one.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's exciting, but it's super long. Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. I like seeing, like, come on, you're gonna tell me that part where all those dudes were going through the long grass and then they find out it was a raptor nest and they all just got
destroyed by raptors.
Yeah, that was cool. Like seeing the dinosaurs in their element was cool. Like they took away the fence. It's like, okay, let's do the same movie. Let's take away the fences and like raptors are out. Anything could happen.
Yeah, part 2 is nastier than all of them, I think. Because there's the guy gets ripped in two by the two T-Rexes. There's one guy gets stepped on and then he's stuck to the foot, and he's like and there's the one guy that gets eaten by he gets bitten by a T-Rex in the city, and he starts gurgling when he's screaming. So yeah, it's cooler that way. I haven't seen it in a while. I feel like watching part 2 now.
Let's bring this back to reality.
Okay, all right.
The little girl in Jurassic Park 2 like grabs the pole, spins around, and kicks a raptor in the face. I'm like, this movie is awful. I don't like any of them. I think part 3 is the best because it's the shortest. It's 90 minutes and it's mostly dinosaurs. Like the part 1 is boring. Sorry.
Yeah.
Part two is long and has a lot of dumb parts. It's like part 3 is short and has pterodactyls, and this is cool. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. That's the only one I own. And then the next one after that is that Chris Pratt. The next one.
Yeah.
That's one of the worst stories of all time in any. It's so dumb. Everything that happens is dumb. It's like, and I like Chris Pratt. He's whatever. I don't care about him in this movie.
Yeah, sure.
I like what's her face, Bryce
Dallas Howard.
Bryce,
right?
Oh, the original
awful. It's like, it's great that she's in her little tight skirt and heels, and that's great. But you know what? Like, seriously, like you can't run. Like it's so. And then the next movie they made a point of having her wear those boots or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. I saw
the trailer.
It is different, though. It is different. It is a much different movie than I think any of the Jurassic Park movies.
Which one?
But Fallen Kingdom. It is like, it's literally like, 5. It's like Frankenstein, I would say. You almost have to compare it to like Frankenstein. But it's ironic that, Gray, you don't like the human characters because they're the ones who usually save those movies, because otherwise there's no reason to watch them because they never really reach their full potential. The only reason to watch Jurassic Park is because Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum are so good, and Sam Jackson not yelling at everyone is so great to watch. Sam Jackson playing it straight. Jurassic Park 2 has Jeff Goldblum back. He's great. Julianne Moore's great. Pete Postlethwaite as the hunter. He's awesome.
Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
Hey, Cass, what's going on, dude? I really liked it a lot.
3 and Jurassic World is they didn't really have those human characters that were very interesting. Chris Pratt tries to save 4, he doesn't. And 3, Sam Neill tries to save 3, he doesn't. I'll say this Fallen Kingdom conceptually was different. It is a different movie to watch.
3 in theory, like I agree with you, J-Man, but I don't remember shit from that movie, so it's probably I don't know what that says about it, And there was gonna be like a part 4 where they had human dinosaur hybrids, and each one had a different name. It was like a Ninja Turtles type of thing, and Ninja Turtles meets like Elephant Men or something, and then they go out on missions and stuff. They never made that. I think that would have taken it to a completely different. It could have been its own movie, really. It wouldn't be a Jurassic Park thing to me.
I think I checked. You know what the problem is, and maybe I don't know. I think Sean maybe can relate. When Jurassic Park came out, like this is at a time where I'd already watched 4,000 monster movies and every Godzilla movie and every kaiju thing, and I was well versed in all this stuff. So seeing monsters and creatures, and I don't distinguish between effects. Like to me, it's like if I see a cool creature, like I love Ray Harryhausen. He's one of my heroes. I have all the big hardcover coffee table books that he's done. So to me, like Jason the Argonauts and all that stuff is awesome. I don't see a difference between Jason the Argonauts or like a Clash of the Titans versus like a Jurassic Park. I know there's a difference, and Jurassic Park looks better, but to me, it's like, look, I want to see the creatures do cool stuff, and I saw all that. So when I watched Jurassic Park, I'm like, these dinosaurs do nothing. Like they look cool, they're just walking around. Then there's some mayhem at the end with the T-Rex. I'm like, yeah, that's okay, but I'm like, it takes forever to get going, and I sort of just checked out of that whole series. And they're like, well, let's do a part 2. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, there's something cool. Then this, theoretically, I should have liked part 4 the best because it had this mixed breed. But the problem is they mixed breed stuff, but like it doesn't make any sense. It's like this dinosaur can turn invisible. Well, why am I going to go to the park to see an invisible dinosaur?
Yeah, it was just conceptually it was bad because they just went back and did the park where everyone already died a bunch of times, so you know what's going to happen. It doesn't make much sense for them to do the park again because of all the mayhem that happened. That's why I was fine with Fallen Kingdom. So that's it. But like, I don't
know which ones anyone's talking about. Like,
Fallen Kingdom's 5, right? Yeah, I didn't see that.
Kingdom's 5. Jurassic Park 3 is, says it.
What's called? What's
3?
Yeah, JP3.
Okay.
Yeah, Lost World is 2. Jurassic World is 4. But now they're like Fallen Kingdom is Jurassic World 2. It's Jurassic Park 5. Like, what are you doing? It's not a new franchise. What the hell are you talking about?
It's a marketing thing, Sean.
I know.
Like it's like I don't know why Hollywood thinks that if you go past 3, nobody's going to pay attention to it anymore.
Yeah, they outnumber them and stuff. But then on the DVD and Blu-ray packaging, they put numbers. Like I noticed they put numbers on Harry Potter now. It's like, this is 2. It's like, okay, because you wouldn't. I mean, I didn't read the book, so I wouldn't know. Like, it's the prisoner of blah blah. It's like, oh, I don't know which one is this, 3 or 5 or 2 or 1 or what is this shit? I don't know.
Go by year. That's why I put the years in parentheses with all my stuff. Like, this came 2001, 2002. So even if they go out of context, like, no, this came out because I put it in parentheses.
Yeah, but then you get into the whole Star Wars debate of like that doesn't matter because
Star Wars came out first. Yeah, and you get in problem with Rambo, like John Rambo.
Yeah, Rambo, the movie Rambo is like the 4th one.
Yeah, because it's First Blood, then it's Rambo, First Blood Part 2, and then it's Rambo 3, and they skip the numbering.
First 3.
Indiana Jones does it too, because like Temple of Doom is technically a prequel to The Lost Ark. So, like, we're still Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Technically, it fell into that trilogy trap where the 3rd one's not as good as the 2nd or the 1st one. Like, technically, not really.
I think, like, and you can watch Temple of Doom before Raiders if you wanted to. I don't think that ruins anything.
It's funny because, like, I'll say this, and J-Man, and Steve, like no one knew that was a prequel. No one paid attention to the year in the beginning of Temple of Doom till like 20, 30 years later. It's like when it came out on DVD, it's like, oh shit, it's a prequel. Oh shit, Dan Aykroyd's in this too. Like anyway.
God, everybody wanted to be in that movie though. Like that's, I mean, what would that be today? Like Avengers or what? Like just have some rando actor in it in a small role.
Yeah.
He's in it for like 2 seconds or whatever. It's like
It's hyper weird when you look at it. It's like, why is Dan Aykroyd in this?
But
his voice is all. It's like
he's British
or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Also with Jurassic World, the reason why I didn't like it because the same reason I didn't like Star Wars 7.
4?
It's 7, right?
I don't know the one.
I don't know anymore, man.
Which one's part 2, right? Oh,
what?
Force
We'll go by parts, man. Yeah.
Force
Okay,
Awakens is
the
part
one
2.
that came out 6 years ago. How about that one? The one.
Yeah, episode 7. Okay.
Okay.
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens. Yeah.
Force Awakens. Okay, thank you. Jurassic World, and that did the exact same thing. They did the exact same thing. They copied from the first one, and he just like updated just a little bit. That's why I hated Force Awakens, and like because Jurassic World, he's like, that person's gonna die. That person's gonna die. That girl from the reboot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre is gonna die. You could call it.
Yeah, I was about to say, who's that?
Oh, she was a dark-haired girl with a British accent who died from those that pterodactyl and then
Lena Luthor.
Yes, she was the girl from the last Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
Supergirl.
She's the babysitter in part 4, right? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lena Luthor from Supergirl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Really?
She's from Merlin as well.
Yes.
Oh, well, she died ugly. So
she died in that. I noticed that. Yeah.
But how you die? Like how you let yourself get picked up like that? You better hit that leg or something.
But there was nothing there.
Oh,
there was nothing there for her to hit. They didn't add the dinosaur till later, so she didn't know. She's like, oh.
But she doesn't even know how she died.
The downfalls of CGI. You act worse.
You can't act. It's like this. It's like it's like I can't see what's there. Pretend it's scary. Oh no! And then it's like this grotesque thing. You're like, wouldn't you be more scared than that? Like,
yeah.
I feel about that movie though. Originally, Steven Spielberg was supposed to direct it, and that was what sold everybody else to get on it. And then when Steven's like, no, I'm going to pass it on to my friend. What? Why I'm here?
Yeah.
JJ Evans
is a hacker.
There's no such thing as original anymore.
There's non-original, and then there's copying the exact same movie and changing the character names.
Yeah.
It's like, we literally were watching Force Awakens, and it's like we always go together. And I sit in the corner, and then Sean and Steve, depending on when they go get their food, that person sits next to me. And if Sean is next to me, it's like, Sean, I bet you Han's gonna die because he's playing the Obi-Wan Kenobi part in this movie. He's got all the same lines as Obi-Wan did, and then it's like, yeah, that'll happen. And then he dies, and you're like, okay. If you could
read
predict
everything anyway, so I knew he was gonna die.
It's like you literally everything was exactly the same.
It's one of those things where, this is the age-old hype, but, it's Star Wars, and everyone is a fan of it. I mean, even people that claim they're not. And it's like, why do you, you are now in charge of the next Star Wars story. Wouldn't you naturally just have fun with it? It wouldn't even be effort. It's like, let's make this weird character and let's do this new thing. And this hasn't been done in Star Wars. Let's do this thing. Like, you would effortlessly glide into it. And I don't understand what the problem is. And it's like, well, let's just do Star Wars. And then Rey is on a desert planet, and she's gonna be the Luke Skywalker, and BB-8's gonna be the R2, and all blah 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 blah. And it's like, let's make a new Darth Vader. It's like, whoa, let's make a new evil character that's not Darth Vader. What about that?
But that's
why wouldn't you think? But I guess I don't understand. Maybe there's two kinds of fans that like people who are stimulated by this and their imagination soars with it, and other people just regard it as a job, right?
Yeah, I mean this is why JJ is beloved by the studios, is that he is literally the pie chart director. Like using your term, Sean, and sort of changing it, is saying these guys sit in a boardroom, not one of them could write a story. And they're sitting there and they're like, okay, what sold with Star Wars? Darth Vader. Okay, we need a new Darth Vader. You saw it with what Kevin Smith was saying about Superman Lives, when he was talking to Kevin Smith and he's like, I like that guy who was in your movie Chasing Amy. Like, we need a Chewie character. He can be our Chewie for Superman Lives. And Kevin Smith's like, this man's bonkers. But this is how they think. They don't think in terms of originality. They think in terms of what has been successful before and how can we copy or emulate it so it'll be successful for us.
Yeah, I'm more disturbed at the fans of Force Awakens. And I don't like to attack someone for liking something that I don't like. I mean, that's totally fine if there's people that love it. And there's people at my work. My work is a great place to get general public thoughts, because they're very, very, they're like, hey, I watched a cool movie on the weekend. And then that's all that they think about. So people will be like, hey, Jay, I watched that Force Awakens. That was really exciting. And then I say to them, like, do you like Star Wars? Like, yeah, I watched it as a kid. I thought it was great. It's like, when was the last time you actually watched Part 4, like A New Hope? And they're like, oh, I don't know, like 30 years ago, right? I'm like, well,
so you're not a fan.
so you're not, right, you're not a fan. It's like, you're not a fan in the way I call things a fan, or the way I describe a fan.
They know of it, yeah.
Yeah, you know of it. So I say,
culture.
Yeah. So then I'm like, well, why don't you watch it this weekend? Right. And then let me know what you thought of Force Awakens after that. Right. And then no one ever does that, because they just watch something else. And it's just like, movies to a lot of people are very disposable. They watch it in the afternoon, or they take their kids and they walk out and then they're done. Movies to us are more of our like lifestyle hobby. Like it doesn't leave us. Like, we'll watch, I've watched Alien, and then I watched the Alien director's cut right after. Like, I'll watch Alien, and then I'm like, oh, let me watch the director's cut and see what was different, and watch it right after I just watched the other one. And so it's like, I'll do stuff like that. Like, I'll watch a movie and then be like, oh, there's commentary, and then I'll rewatch the movie with if I liked it, I'll rewatch it with the commentary right there, so it's fresh. People don't do that. They're just going to be like, well, I watched it, was fun, and then they move on with their lives. And that's where you get a lot of these generic, I don't want to say, normie opinions, where it's like, this was great, this wasn't great. And it's like, they just want to have a good time. But the thing is that my opinion is that, look, you've got hundreds of millions of dollars at your disposal. You have worldwide fan base. You're claiming that you're a Star Wars fan and you love Star Wars. If you really love Star Wars, would you want to remake the thing you love and just make a dumb version of it? That's a no, because I love Star Wars. I would be like, what could I do now? Maybe go somewhere here or go somewhere there, or do something, I would expand it. I wouldn't bring it back to be like, let's bring Han and Luke in and make them like morons and then kill them off. And it's like, even
the thing is, even then, okay, so you want to bring those characters back. But J.J. Abrams, just showing his true colors as someone who is a hack and isn't very imaginative, they erased so I know, like, Disney in general erased the extended universe. The extended universe actually grew these characters past Return of the Jedi. It's like Luke gets married and has kids. It's like he's allowed to live a life. He marries Mara Jade. And Leia and Han Solo have like 3 kids. You have twins, and then they have another kid after that who's like more powerful in the Force and stuff. They're allowed to live lives. And in Force Awakens, it's like Han Solo is back with Chewie running around the universe in the same literally the same pants with the red stripe from Star Wars. He's completely like fixed in amber for like 20 years, and that's how J.J. Abrams grew the character. Oh, bullshit! Luke is a grumpy Gus for 20 years after Return of the Jedi. In the extended universe, he has a whole life and new adventures and kids. And it's like, but this is the world of J.J. Abrams. It's like, no, he has an incident where he acts out of character and he's grumpy for like the next 20, 30 years, fixed in amber, never growing. It's like that's the J.J. Abrams way, right? So I don't know. It's sad. I don't want it erased because I think that's way too messy. They've made these big giant movies written lightning, and that's what it is, unfortunately.
Can they be? We talked about this before. I know Clone Wars. Okay. Let me say this. For Star Wars, to me only, Star Wars exists as a live action franchise. If it's not live action, it's a for fun thing. That's only the way I see it.
That's how we grew up on that.
Yeah, I want to make that very clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's a book series, I have tons of Star Wars books right there, like just right out of the camera. And they're great. The bounty hunter stuff, the Jabba's palace tales of the characters and stuff. That's all cool, but it's always been for fun. To me, Star Wars is a live action film series. That is what matters to me. I would include Mandalorian because it's a live action thing. So to me, it's the 8 movies, Mandalorian, the Ewok films, the cartoons, the Clone Wars stuff, novels, comic books, video games. That's a for fun thing, just to have. It's like cool. And if a book contradicts a movie, the movie is the right thing.
Right.
That's the way I look at it, because you talk about canon and all that stuff.
Yeah, but that's your generation, right?
That's just me. Now, there's people out there that really, because like they're saying the Clone Wars, and you guys agree, Clone Wars really fixed up some of the messiness of the prequels.
Yeah, Clone Wars is the backbone of modern Star Wars, and was probably the next biggest thing to happen to Star Wars outside of the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Bar none. The merchandise was huge for that. And I think kids grew up more on that than the prequels.
Yeah.
And basically, to me, the prequels, it was supposed to be Clone Wars was a companion piece to the prequels. But to me, the prequels are a companion piece to the Clone Wars. Clone Wars is better fleshed out.
Yeah.
It explains everything. Even on into Bad Batch, they're explaining Order 66 and all that stuff. It's just better written. Yeah. All the characters, I'm behind them more in Clone Wars than I am in the movies. And to generations, that's their G.I. Joe. Like, they knew all the different clones, all the different characters. They knew all the satellite characters. They made everybody. They made every giant freaking vehicle. I kick myself for not buying those because they're awesome. And they had the big, like, walking six-legged tanks in the last Bad Batch. They're from Clone Wars. They made those. Yeah. That is the next biggest thing. To a lot of people, that's Star Wars. And I'm fine with that because it's awesome.
Well, the Clone Wars, like the Anakin Skywalker in Clone Wars is the precursor to Darth Vader, not Hayden Christensen.
Is what we thought we were going to get.
Not Jake Lloyd.
Yeah.
Maybe Jake Lloyd because he's a kid, sure. But Hayden Christensen, no way. The precursor to Darth Vader is the portrayal. It's Matt Lautner, or however you pronounce his name. I think it's Lautner. That is Darth Vader. It's not Hayden Christensen. Because when you watch him in Clone Wars, it's done so well. He just goes over the line, but it's for a good reason. But he goes over the line. He'll force choke someone to get information out of him. Right. And it's a villain. So you're like, okay, I can sort of get it, but he's also not acting like a Jedi.
Right.
And you can sort of understand through the progression of the series why someone would turn their back on Jedi. And you see that at the end. Well, not the end, because now they did the last season. Sure. But the end that we got originally. It borrows that same Star Wars idea too, where it basically uses a lot of pre-existing stories and puts their own spin on it. Like
every movie you can think of is redone in this thing.
Yeah,
it's like Seven Samurai and
like it's so entertaining, and it's got literally something for everyone. And
it's got the Star Wars feel more so than the prequels. It's got that adventure pulp feel to it. It's the thing is in canon I think it's the heart of modern canon, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. It's
Yeah.
like everything bounces off that show. Even Mandalorian concepts bounce off that show,
Yeah.
like the Dark Blade and
Yeah.
Ahsoka Tano's in it, and
Yeah.
it's like really it is the beating
Bo-Katan.
heart of modern Star
Bo-Katan,
Wars.
yeah.
It's completely all based off that, and like it has, like Sean said, it's an actual galaxy. It's an actual universe. It's not just retreads of Tatooine and retreads of Hoth, which is what we got in the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, they give you all sorts of different planets.
Yeah.
You know what's heartbreaking about that show is that if you watch the behind the scenes, George Lucas was all over that show. And it's like, if you want the true vision of Star Wars, it is Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And I feel like he was probably smoothing over cracks and more interested in Clone Wars than he was the prequels that he directed. Yeah. Because like you see him at the story meetings and he's all over like the characters and concepts and like what they should do next and everything. It is his vision. So it's great. I mean, I know like it's a lot to watch, J-Man, but you gotta watch it. It's awesome.
Well, I have it all on Blu-ray, so
Yeah.
I've got it all.
I'm gonna have to give it a watch over. Like okay, here's my thing with I'm not the Star Wars guy.
Yeah.
Like to me, I always thought like, if you were essentially a space monk, why would you fall in line with the government? Because you can't trust the government. They all have agendas. And what was also with the Empire? How were they so bad? I mean, yeah, they blew up Alderaan, but that could have been a terrorist cell. So we can't.
Yeah, there's always been this. I think the problem is Return of the Jedi Special Edition, because at the end of Return of the Jedi Special Edition, they show different planets celebrating, and one of them is Coruscant. Yeah. And Coruscant looks like a big bustling city like it did in the prequels. It's like, well, hold on. If you're saying that, then it doesn't look like the Empire is that bad. But the Empire is supposed to be the Nazis in that they impose curfews. They get rid of people they don't like. There's a lot of bad to them. They haven't really. I noticed in Bad Batch they're heavily leaning on the bad of the Empire, because I feel there's more and more this argument of like, well, they're not so bad. And no offense, Greymalkin, I see a lot of it from America. I don't know why. It's Americanism isn't so bad. It's like, oh, wait a minute, it's pretty bad. But it's like, and I hate to put that on the 4th of July, but
but
yeah, they are inherently bad. It's like, I don't know what to tell you. It's like everyone's like, well, they made things work, but they didn't, and that was the point of Star Wars. Everything was the original trilogy. Everything was crappy looking because everything was run down and shit. And then at the end of the Return of the Jedi Special Edition, they show Coruscant, the gleaming city, and it didn't make any sense, right?
No.
But no, they are bad. It's like you're not living in a free society under the Empire.
I mean, and the reason the Jedi is with the the Republic at that point is because it's natural in film a lot of times to sort of ignore the flaws of government in film. Like, for instance, if you watch the Olympus Has Fallen series, he keeps trying to save the president. Now, if you guys if you're trying to save Donald Trump, how many people would put up their hands saying, "Yeah, save that guy"? Like in America, like how many people would be like,
probably 70 million.
Anyway. Yeah, but like, it's a lot of like, like there's a lot of things where government is sort of, how many times, and it's the same with the media. I consider the media to be incredibly corrupt. But I find that everyone's like in movies, it's like, bring it to the news. They'll expose everything and we'll save them. It's the same as tell the president this and he'll say this, right? Every intrigue story is about telling either the media or the government the truth, and they'll make things right. And we know that doesn't happen because usually the government or the news are the ones who are making everything wrong. So it's just a trope with like film. They're always perennially the good guys. They shouldn't be, but they are. I don't know why, but
the prequels were depicting
I just want to point out something. I just want to point out that between Steven and Sean discussing the Empire and Greymalkin in there, there's probably been more discussion about the Empire right now than there was making the movie. Let me read. I've got a tape recording of the 1975 discussion or whatever, 2 years before they made the movie. Who are the bad guys? The Empire, because they're bad. Okay. That's it. It's like nobody went into this detail. George Lucas is like, the Empire. They'll be bad because empires are bad. That's it. This details of, well, what are they doing in the galaxy? It's like, whatever. The Empire is bad. And there's a bunch of dicks. That's it. That's the only thought process there was. We can analyze it and say, yes, the Empire did this stuff.
But the Jedi, to answer your question, great. And I know I'm being a geek here.
No,
like,
you're not.
The Jedi were supposed to be the Knights Templar. That they were standing for them, and they were a state within a state. So like the government would rely on them every so often, but they weren't governed by the government. And in the prequels, the whole thing is, because of that, Palpatine is suspicious of that. He can't control them fully. So then he enacts Order 66, and it's like there could have been better ways to articulate the whole Templar thing. Yeah. but I mean, it is Lucas, right? So yeah.
Right. He's not known for his deep.
Like he the original trilogy is known for yes, Lucas is a great mastermind of imagination, and all this couldn't have been done without him. But he got a lot of help, and there's a lot of collaboration, and that could have been used for the prequels.
Yeah, but he okay. So George Lucas likes. We know he likes East and West stuff. So he likes samurais. He likes Kurosawa and all that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So he likes Kurosawa and all those movies, which we all like, right? And he also likes movie serials and Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon and all that, which I just showed you, right? So it's like we all love that kind of stuff too. So he took really the two coolest things ever and like meshed them together, and that's where the genius came in. The technical stuff, someone sitting down and hammering out a character and literally
editing it so it doesn't look like shit.
Like what is Luke Skywalker going to say in this scene? Okay, well, what's just happened? Okay, well, his aunt and uncle have been killed. Where are they gonna, what's his thought? Like this kind of stuff, George Lucas is not that, because the prequels are very much guy comes in, says lines, walk off. And it's like, then there's a cool action scene or whatever. And the problem is like it just feels boring to people. They just had the Phantom Menace on again the other night or just yesterday. And I watched a bit of it. I'm like, there's just talking. And like they're talking, I'm like, there's not like when
they're not doing something while they're talking.
They're not doing something while they're talking.
He got help in directing Star Wars. You can tell because like guys are working on the Falcon while they're talking.
Yeah.
Guys are doing something while it's interesting,
Yeah, but there's also nothing physically there. This is one of the problems of the 300 style of shooting, where it's like there's nothing for him to touch. Like it's like I can be like, okay, I'm just pressing random buttons and moving levers. All right, Chewie, get the thing back going. Okay, Leia, go over here. 3PO, get out of my way. Like there's excitement in things going on. You watch the prequels and it's literally they come in, talk, leave. They can't interact. And like even we're interacting and talking, right? Like Greymalkin's private messaging me on this chat. I'll check my email. Like, even in real life, we're doing other stuff while we're talking, and they don't do that in the prequels. That's the problem. The problem with the Rian Johnson and Sus is saying Rian Johnson and JJ. The problem with these two Wonder Twins here. One of them can't tell a story. Yeah, they can only. One of them has to copy and paste. So once he's done copying and pasting, he can't do anything else. Like once he stole your homework, and the next assignment came out, and there's no one's homework to steal, the guy can't do anything anymore. He's like, I don't know what to do. And Rian Johnson is like, I just want to make a movie about what I want to make. It's like I don't care what the characters stand for. In my movie, Luke Skywalker is just a grump and doesn't do anything. It's like, yeah, but that's not really the character. I don't care. This is my movie. That's his thinking, right? it's like, and JJ is like, I must copy and paste from stuff because I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I don't really know what to do. It's like, my God, I thought you were a nerd. Do you not read these things and imagine it? Like every kid imagined new Star Wars stories in their head. Of course we did. It's like, and like we had the toys and you read the comics and everything and like the cartoons and stuff. It's like when Droids and Ewoks came out, it's like I was like, they could do a better. Why don't we have like a Luke cartoon or something cool?
Right.
It's like, and just small plug, Droids on Disney Plus has never looked better. It's always been in muddy bootlegs and stuff. They released 3 episodes on DVD years ago, and that was it. And that's all you could get. And like it's super clear. I've never seen it. I'm gonna watch the whole thing out again.
Sean's going to be embarrassed, but that's okay. Sean and I, when we would drive to the toy shows, we would sing the Droids song in my car.
Yeah. Stepping softly in a danger zone.
I love it. I'm going red.
You know what? That if you listen to the lyrics of that song, it's a C-3PO song. It's all about him. Yes. It's like he's stepping softly, no weapons in his hands. It's a brain designed by man. Yeah, it's great.
Designed by man. Yeah. and my Echo Base Network did a short story contest. My story was called Brain Designed by Man, and I won second place.
Oh, wow.
And it is on their website, and I did get there. They had rewards for it. They actually gave prizes out, so I won second prize. It was a fantastic story, of course, because I wrote it. So it's genius. Andrew, I'm in my office at home, like my home office, because my laptop was just giving me really wonky trouble, and I'm just like, I just can't get into it. Oh, Clobbering Times, what's going on, dude? Thanks for dropping by, man. You guys should subscribe to Clobbering Times. I know I've seen a few of you guys from here on here. I miss Double C. Hey, Double C, I didn't even see you come in here, dude. Thanks. Happy 4th of July. We're all in Canada, so our thing was on July 1st. But Clobbering Times does the Star Trek reviews every Saturday, which are awesome. And
last night.
Did you watch it? Did you watch last night, Sean?
Some of it, yeah. I'm gonna watch the whole thing. But
It starts at 10. He starts at 10, and like our time 10, and like I'm tearing down my escape room walls and all that. I'm like, I can't even move my leg right now. Like literally, I can't move my leg. So I'm just so tired. I couldn't stay up for it. But the thing is like every classic Star Trek thing for me is 10 out of 10. So like every movie is 10 out of 10. I don't care. And I'm rewatching Voyager now.
The even ones are 10 out of 10.
They're all 10 out of 10.
The ones are the odd ones. It's kind of a mixed bag.
Oh, dude, no. If Captain Kirk, if Shatner and Nimoy, that's the thing. If both are in a movie, it's automatically 10 out of 10. I don't care.
Do we need
I don't care.
I would sell somebody's soul to the devil to bring back Nimoy. Somebody else,
See, the reason why I didn't say Nimoy is because Nimoy is in those 2 or whatever horrendously awful films in quotes.
Wow.
Gatekeepers.
Gatekeepers.
Wow.
They established it's an alternate reality.
No.
Oh dear.
You had
but it's lazy. It's like that one ship dies, and so everything else is changed. How is Spock suddenly horny for Uhura because the one ship got blown up 20 years ago?
Why is he choke-slamming Kirk through his conflict?
Let's ask Pikachu what he thinks.
Wouldn't you?
Oh, he's broken.
No. Okay, the answer to both of your questions, Stephen and Sean, I have the same answer. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you be horny for Uhura? And why wouldn't you?
I know, but like, why wouldn't you tell a Star Trek story? I don't. It's like you could still have human relationships and stuff, but
dude,
it's like they tried to establish a carte blanche where they could do anything. That's what they said, and all they do is just say like, "Oh, I know Khan is in the next one." And part 3 is Star Trek in a blender, and they're on BMX bikes. It's like, what the hell is happening? This is the anything that you wanted to do? Ridiculous.
Hey, you're gonna tell me Benedict Cumberbatch as Khan, like that opening scene wasn't awesome, and when he was in that cloak and just shooting all those Klingons, and you were like, what is going? Who is
Yeah,
that?
it was what was going on. What's going
Yeah,
on?
but-
What is this shit?
Okay,
What
no,
the fuck?
First of all, BC Benedict Cumberbatch is awesome. He's awesome. Unfortunately though, he is not Ricardo Montalban, and he's hashtag not my con. That ain't Con Noonien Singh. No way. Con Noonien Singh is one of the cinematic characters for all time. Like, he is one of the best cinematic characters ever. Because firstly, his shirt is somewhat open, which is awesome. He's got the coolest hair. I don't care. Nobody's
That's the best name too,
He's got
Ricardo
the best-
Montalban. You can't
Yeah,
beat
that does.
I would legally change my name to Ricardo Montalban, but I'm not cool enough to have that name. So
No, that's a
they've
problem.
retired that name from history. No, there cannot be another human who's called that. It's
No.
like Gretzky's 99 or whatever.
You have to retire his jersey. You retire his name.
Well, you know what his full name probably is? Ricardo Inigo Montoya Montalban.
Oh,
Yeah,
even better.
I mean, when he showed up in Planet of the Apes, that just
Part 4 and 5.
That was great.
No,
dude.
part
just
3 and 4.
that just helped, man. That just helped.
Oh, dude, and Sean and I do. Yes, 1,000 times. Yes.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I mean, he was the villain in Naked Gun, and I'm like, why is Ricardo Montalban like slumming in this movie? Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, Hollywood never knew what to do with him, and it's a shame because he was charm incarnate. So
Oh God, yeah.
he would have made a great a Bond villain or something. But
we should do. I wonder. Maybe one time we'll do a topic. Maybe we'll do a Phantom Zone topic where we discuss which of the 3 biggest franchises has been hurt more or hurt the most. That'd be an interesting topic.
which are the 3 biggest franchises to you?
Well,
Star Wars.
Star Wars, Doctor Who, Trek.
Whoa, what happened? Okay,
Doctor
right,
Who,
if you're
Star
gonna
Wars.
say David Tennant is a bad doctor, we're gonna fight.
Of course, nobody on planet Earth or any other planet in galaxy will say David Tennant is a bad anything. David Tennant is the savior of everything. If he shows up, he will literally. He can almost save it. I mean, would you say that he saved the Fright Night remake? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
He saved Jessica Jones for sure.
Oh, Jessica Jones. I don't like Jessica Jones. So my wife and I are watching Jessica Jones, and my wife is like, I think I'm more pumped up for the Purple Man. I'm like, so am I. I'm more.
Yeah, no, that season was about the Purple Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he wasn't in there,
The way they introduced him.
thanks,
Yeah.
Bob.
He goes, you're gonna let me in your house. Come on in. Kids, get in the closet. I have to use the bathroom. I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eat all yourself. Like,
David Tennant's the best.
I'm
I'm gonna drop off soon. I wanted to just ask quickly about Loki because we didn't talk.
Oh dear. Okay.
Okay. All right. Loki.
Well, hold on. The last screen with the classic Loki,
Yeah.
the comic book Loki, that was cool. And then there's the rest of it. I mean, it's not. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not completely barfing, but the problem is I don't really care. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier was more barf for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because it was clumsy and irresponsible.
Yeah, I think
It didn't lean into what it wanted to be.
Loki, I think Gray, you already mentioned this, and I almost literally fell asleep when Owen Wilson was sitting there talking to I don't know how to pronounce her name. It's
Ravonna. Yeah.
I literally almost nodded off. I'm like, where are we going with this?
I don't know what we're talking. I don't even know what you're talking about. What scene?
Exactly.
It
I
was,
watched it and paid attention.
They're talking. He's trying to distract her to get the thing. I can't remember what the thing was.
I was
the calculator thing. I don't know. Yeah.
It was. This is
Okay, I remember.
a textbook example of how not to film a dialogue scene or how to mount a dialogue scene. It's so uninteresting, and it's like no, it's just like master shot, blah blah blah. I'm like, and it goes on for 7 minutes or something. I'm like, what is going on? Like, talk about, you got like one of the more interesting characters in the Marvel universe, and you got a grade A actor who plays him, and you get Owen Wilson, who's very like charismatic, and you somehow make the most boring TV show on television.
There is one.
Which
there is another, a more boring TV show. We call it Friends.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, my wife loves
Thank
Friends.
you so much, Bray. I hate that show, and I always have. And it's not because I'm old,
man.
because I was a teenager when it came out, and I despise it. And it's ruined comedy for till now. And like I was thinking about this the other day. It's like whenever people complain about the humor in MCU, they're complaining about Friends humor because it's all man, power fucking. It's because it's all the same kind of humor in that, like, it's like snarky, smarmy, overconfident bullshit, right?
Like better.
Like I'm eager to point this out to you. Oh, look how clever and smart I am. It's like that Seth Meyer brand of humor, right? And it's like, and it's like that's every MCU. And the problem with that is it's funny in the MCU movies. I laugh. But the problem is characters have to go out of character to do that. It's like Infinity War. Okoye, is that her name?
Yeah.
She has 2 funny lines in that. The one where Black Panther brings in the Avengers and she's like, "Oh, is this what you were thinking when you're going to open us up to the world?" And he goes, "Well, what did you have in mind?" She was like, "I don't know, a Starbucks or something." It's funny, but I know I'm paraphrasing. It's funny, but like it's. Would she say that? Would she be like, "Oh, why didn't we bring her back from the tower?" Like, would she? She's a stoic warrior, but you have to put her in this like Friends, overconfident, snarky, smarmy thing. It's like at the end of Age of Ultron, Captain America is discussing like what would be worthy, like picking up the hammer. It's like if a hammer is stuck in an elevator and the elevator lifts up, is the elevator worthy? It's funny, but would Captain America really be this snarky, smarmy Friends? Like, oh, I found like a freaking like Seth Meyer? Like, no, he wouldn't. He probably wouldn't, right? So yes, Friends has ruined comedy. That's comedy nowadays. Friends has ruined comedy to the point where everyone has to be an overconfident asshole, snarky son of a bitch. And any character has to go out of character to deliver these lines and go back into like, I'm a warrior, shithead, fuck. It's like that's Friends. That's how Friends has ruined everything. There, my friends.
Whenever Sean goes off on a diatribe, you can source it back to Friends because obviously it comes from Friends.
Okay. All right, so let's address some comments first, and then we're going to get back on track. Firstly, it was very successful and it was watched by like millions and tens of millions of people. So hold on a second.
So were the Transformers movies.
Hold on a second. Hold on. It's like 50 million people watched the ending. The thing is, like, is that the show being bad, or is that writers who can't write better jokes and stealing like the Friends thing being bad?
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
So that didn't ruin anything, but okay. Jar Jar, yes, terrible.
A-hole Brams, yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
What else we got? It's tough. Yeah, I know. I've got some good opinions on this. I think if we ever do that stream. Marcus, thanks for coming by. Do you guys what do you think of Millie Bobby Brown, Teenage Richard? I don't know.
That would be interesting.
Would you guys be down with that?
No, I don't like
think that's what the studios would do.
I'm kind of with Sean. I'm getting sick of her.
Yeah.
Well, you guys haven't watched Enola Holmes, have you?
No.
And I never will.
No,
okay. I'd rather her be Valerie Richards than her be Kitty Pryde.
Okay.
I mean, I'm okay with her. The thing is like I've only seen I only saw Stranger Things the first season, which I really liked a lot. I liked it so much that I didn't watch the rest of it. Does that make sense to people?
Yeah,
I just feel that I don't feel like they could have really done anything more with that concept. I felt like it was done. But I did watch Enola Holmes, and it's absolutely terrible. And there's a part 2 coming, and part one was so bad. My wife wanted to turn it off, and I'm like, I don't turn off movies, I do finish them. So we finished it. She checked out. She's like, I'm done. I'm like, no, let's finish it. and we were right, it sucked. So that being it, I mean, I would be willing to see what they do with that with her if they did that. I'm kind of with you, Jay. Falcon and Winter. Okay, so we'll get back to Loki. So Steve can get going.
Okay, all right, I have a theory. Quick theory.
Yeah, okay, quick theory. Go for it.
B Hunter 15 is a variant. We all know this. But I think she's a variant of Storm. Think about it. All right, yeah. They took away her powers. Yeah, sure, they took away her powers. And they just made her like a warrior. Yeah. Like,
I don't know who you're talking about. Which one is that?
Oh, the one who's realized she's a variant. The one who took
Loki.
Yeah.
The head cop woman.
Oh yeah, the bigger lady. The bigger lady.
Yeah.
The one is always like shocking Loki. Like,
yeah, see, this is actually, you brought this up now, and this reminded me. If the show's called Loki and I'm following him, I don't want him to be ridiculed and made fun of he's the butt of every joke in that. And I'm like, so Loki sucks. All of this entire show.
They should have been called TVA, the show, or something. Or Mr. Mobius or something like that.
Yeah. The entire season has been about how Loki's is a joke and a shit character. And he gets kicked in the nuts forever by Sif. I'm like, this is not funny to me. I'm like, this is Loki being a complete loser. And it's like, I thought Loki, to me, when Avengers 1 came out, like, Loki was a piece of trash. I was like, this guy's a bastard. And I thought he was great as that villain. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, they've been knocking him down and knocking him down and knocking him down. And now he's a literal joke. Like, people come and beat him up. And then here's the other thing. The TVA is not that great because female Loki can beat the crap out of everybody. There could be 15 TVA agents with those sticks and none of them touch her. But Tom Hiddleston gets beat up all the time. And I'm thinking, who's Tom Hiddleston's agent? Did he read the script? I'd be like, no, I'm not doing this. And the other thing, if you're a fan of actually Tom Hiddleston as Loki, you must be hating this show because they just beat him up every episode.
It's the same thing over and over again. It's so tedious, and it's a waste of time. I don't know why they waste time on this.
Yo, Loki.
That's true.
Right? The Hulk beat him up.
Yeah. That's true. So,
I
agree that, like, Falcon and Winter Soldier pissed me off.
Yeah, pissed me off.
Loki doesn't piss me off. Loki just bores the shit out of me. Like, literally, I put it on, and I feel like watching a wall to see if the paint's drying. Like, I don't...
I don't know. Maybe I like this more than the three of you. I don't think it's great, and I think they should have called it something else. And in terms of like comicdom, it's one of those things. Once again, with Marvel doing things you wouldn't expect. So, TVA, Mr. Mobius, all that stuff. It's amazing to see a biggish budget, serious rendering of all that stuff. But I'm just waiting. Like, listen, the time I rip into this is 2 weeks from now when they have the final episode. I watch it, I sum it all up, and I'm like, okay, you shat on Loki. I don't know why you called it this, blah blah blah, and et cetera, et cetera. But I can't do that yet. I have to reserve judgment until. Listen, I just shat on Friends, so I'll make short work of this. But listen, 2 weeks from now, we'll see. It'll be the verdict. We'll see if they turn this all around, and there's a reason for this.
We'll see. And you're gonna be like, yeah, you guys are right. I hate this show. If this show was a person, I would want to put it underwater and just put it there to the bubble stop.
Yeah, okay.
All right. All right, just describe your Tuesday night.
Yeah, I agree. Look, guys, when Sean is the one telling us to
when I'm the voice of reason,
not get angry, when Sean is saying don't get angry, that comment lends a lot of weight to it. So we again, who has two thumbs and is waiting to wait 2 weeks? This guy. I'm good. Look, to me, and I know some people don't like WandaVision, but I absolutely love WandaVision. I watched it twice over. I don't care. I love it. even without Doctor Strange, I think Wanda on her own was awesome. I love WandaVision. But and to me that was always good. But Falcon and Winter Soldier started so high and it dropped to oblivion. It was so awful. This show is sort of like in the middle. Like, I don't actually hate it really either. I'm not that angry at it.
Yeah.
I'm just a bit questioning. I'm thinking like, well, Loki gets beat up a lot. Like, what's your angle here? Like, are you trying to tear down the character? Like, I don't understand what their what's the thought process.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that Falcon and Winter Soldier turned into a pandering mess. Loki's not pandering. It's just, I'm sitting there like, why is this being made? Like, it's boring. It's just like, oh, Loki's talking to Owen Wilson again. They're trying, but we've already figured out all that they're going through. I knew that the Time Lords or whatever were fake.
Yeah.
So I knew that one. And so the big reveal that they're robots meant nothing to me. Like, this is very much like amateur hour for writing to me, where it's just like we got a person who's just fresh out of film school. You know, they graduate with a C, and we gave them a show and said, make a show on Loki. And that's what I'm seeing. Like, very, very, like, you know, first day sort of thing. Like, I don't care about anything I'm watching. I'm not angry. I'm not going to, you know, write a scathing review about this when it's done. You know, when my dad started to watch Disney Plus, I said, well, watch WandaVision. You can watch Falcon and Winter Soldier if you want, but watch WandaVision for sure. And he watched both of them. And he actually liked both. My dad's weird that way.
But he's not judging. Your dad is just watching it for entertainment value. He's not reading into stuff.
You're right, Gray. Some executives, comic book loving nephew did get the job. But like Loki, he turned it off midway through the first episode. And he was just like, I don't know what they're going for here. I don't care. I'm not watching.
They were trying to do like a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy in that beginning part. But you know what the other thing too is, like, and this is so silly, and they had to pull this to try to you know get in there. Their days are like, oh, he's bisexual. Okay, so he's bisexual, but his relationship is with that girl. So, like,
technically,
he's never going to go with another. They're never going to show a sex scene with two guys on Disney Plus. So, right? So what is the point? Like, it's like this. Remember when they said Lando was
pansexual?
Pansexual is like even robots or whatever.
Even robots. So what? Yeah. Right now, first of all, you watch the movie and there's literally none of that. Like, I was like, he's not making out with anybody. He's only chatting up the girls. So what are you talking about?
No, he's Lando, yeah.
They keep pulling this stuff and it's so lame. And it's very transparent. It's so transparent.
But then when you bring it up to other fans, you're gonna say, oh, this is bordering on hate speech. Whoa. No one said anything about hate speech. I just said that's pandering. If there's anything else, I would say the same. Okay. And plus Disney. Yeah. Okay, all right. You guys may remember this. You guys remember back in the day, they would have this thing called a letters page where fans would write and ask questions, and you would get solid answers. Yeah. Like, hey, is this person coming back to the book? Not right now, but don't worry. This person's gonna show up in another book. Like, they don't do that anymore. And I think a letters page where people just ask the questions and you just give a straight answer, like, hey, is Loki bisexual? No, not really. I mean, there was like one guy, but it never went anywhere. So that's a whole other story.
Disney is so cowardly. I love at the end of Rise of Skywalker, there's a shot of two women kissing at the end, and there's something, but it's one individual shot. So they can slide it out when it goes to China and when it goes to like other places.
Exactly.
Like, have their cake and eat it too. Like, look, guys, gays. Look, no gays. Like, it's like, what the hell?
And that one shot was supposed to somehow show how great Disney is and how all encompassing they are.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you guys are lame. Oh, it's so bad. It's just the problem is that it's so transparent that it's actually like kind of sickening, and then people get angry too. They're like,
yeah. Well, no one wants to be pandered to. Even the LGBTQ community complained because it's you're not putting you're not making really any strides there.
Yeah.
It's like you want to be serious about it. Don't use like that community as your shield to show off how inclusive you are or how not inclusive you are by taking a shot out.
This is my problem with Hollywood. If you look at them, they're always paying lip service.
Yeah.
And they're never actually executing through. But then they put these, pat on the back. We're wearing a black ribbon. We're against, women being, oh, well, now that you're wearing a black woman, there'll be no violence against women now in Hollywood. The casting couch is gone. You're wearing a black ribbon. Don't worry, guys. We're good.
Take this thing and put it out in the front lawn.
Anyhow, I'm gonna go.
All right,
Steve.
I gotta leave on that note because any chance to rip Hollywood, I gotta do it. Anyhow, guys, take care. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, David.
Adios. Be seeing you.
Okay, I got two. All right, one. Hollywood goes wherever the wind is. Wherever the wind is going. Okay, and the casting couch thing that still happens. It's just in a different way. Like it. Okay, this is three things. Hollywood. If you want to be a big actor, it's all about who you know. It's not about real talent. Like
Josh Hartnett. How the hell was he a star?
whoa. Right. The man retired. The man got out of the industry, okay? He was almost Superman.
I know. Oh my God. A multi-faced Superman. Yeah.
Well, I couldn't get that fast enough. You caught me off guard with that one, Sean. I wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready.
Random attack on a guy who hasn't had work in like 10 years. Anyway, all right.
No, but like the thing about it is with Mark is, why? Like the pandering is really bad. And it's like, oh no, they're trying to change. Like, no, I see this every year with Black History Month.
Yeah.
Like we saw it last month. It was everywhere we went. Rainbow. But a few months ago with Black History, like we seen it. It's always black people. But like it's all this. You're not really doing anything.
Yeah.
And just Hollywood is gonna be Hollywood. Just like real. All right. People say.
Sorry, go on.
All right, sorry. Well, last thing. People are afraid of the studios are afraid of people actually boycotting their stuff. Really? No, they're not. No, you're still gonna make your money regardless. Yeah. Like all it takes is balls. It's like, hey, listen, Batman doesn't go down on Catwoman. That's it. We're gonna show it, and we're gonna have them say it. You don't like it, don't watch it. That's I want that stance because like this we need more inclusion. It seems like bratty behavior, and like we need that hard face. Like, no, we're not doing it for you just because you want it. We're gonna do it because the story requires.
You need an artistic vision. And a studio to back that vision for a reason, right? For some sort of reason. And not saying like we're gonna do this just because it's like when everyone screamed for a three-breasted woman in the remake of Total Recall, and then there was, but like they didn't understand, and that's the only reason why that was there. But they didn't understand what they were trying to say. Is like the old Total Recall was a hard R-rated movie that had balls and charisma, and this thing didn't, so it's like they put that three-breasted woman just to be brats, like look at this, like, so yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's go through some of these comments real quick. Dan Slott is awful. Plus, he went against my boy Rob Liefeld, so that's it. It's like
Rob Liefeld. Yeah, me and him.
My boy. I know, Gray, you and I aren't on the same.
Yeah, I listen to the podcast now too, and I like that kind of podcast where he's just reminiscing about the past, and like he's a real true like geek,
He's a geek,
and he knows the shit, right?
So he knows stuff.
Yeah,
but he's kind of watching that Batman book, man. That weird Batman book that I never even seen before.
But he's 1991 though. Like times got to change. You can't you're not Archie Bunker, Liefeld.
Well, yeah, but like he's pointing out where things came from. I think that's what I like
Yeah,
about
no way. Okay, think about guys, Krasinski and Emily Blunt and Millie Bobby Brown together. I mean,
that's not going to happen.
I don't know if that will happen.
I have a bad feeling about Fantastic Four. This dream casting, I know Krasinski's name always comes up. I promise you that's not going to happen.
Please.
I promise you.
Fantastic Four, because Fantastic Four is so important. They've got an anniversary coming up. I think. Well, Clobber Times will. That's his. That obviously thing is his favorite. So that'll be
something. Or when was it? 62?
It's coming up. It's coming up for sure. And Clobber Times. That's his. I'm assuming the thing is his favorite character.
November 61. November 2021. Yeah.
What's the date, Sean?
November 61 is the debut. November 2021 would be a.
So that's coming up. So yeah. We'll see what they do, but Marvel is hit or miss with some of these. Like sometimes they don't honor the characters as much as you would. But Fantastic Four is such an important book. I think it like so many everything that we know came from that. Really, like.
Well, yeah. I mean,
most of it.
When did
like Spider-Man? Like what are the top books, guys? Like Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Avengers. Is that like your three? How's my leg?
Hold on, I'm just. There
we go.
When did Challenge of the Unknown come out? Was it before Fantastic Four, or it's obviously before? So yeah, I mean that's a heavy influence. I mean it was Kirby, so.
No. Yeah, no. Obviously Kirby's the best, but I mean, I just meant like in terms of like Marvel stuff. Like Marvel stuff.
Yeah, they've had to go without a lot of stuff from Fantastic Four because it was all with Fox. But like a whole bunch of like they had to make up the quantum realm because they couldn't say the what was the place where Blastar is? I can't remember. Yeah, a negative zone. Yeah, they couldn't say that. They had to lean on a whole bunch of other stuff because they couldn't say what they really wanted to say. You know, and there's no Galactus, there's no Nihilus, and you know.
But watch when we get the Fantastic Four in the next Ant-Man movie, he's like, "Oh, the quantum zone. Oh, you mean the negative zone? Yeah, I call this negative zone."
Yeah, it's totally different. Yeah,
we're not using your dumb name.
That sounds.
You got the rights now. We can call it what it is. Like
Fantastic Four, man. Everything came. I went back and read the first I'm gonna say like maybe 60 issues, like number 1 to number 6. They had a sale like a few years ago on Comixology because I don't have Fantastic Four number 1, obviously.
Sure.
But I read the first 60, and holy shit, those first I'm gonna say the first 20, everything is from that. Or I don't know the numbers. I'm bad with numbers, but the first for sure the first 50 comics had everything you know about anything is in that.
Yeah, Inhumans. Yeah.
And I don't know the numbers. I could be wrong, right? I don't know. Maybe Inhumans was number 62 or something. But you know what I'm saying? Like everything came from.
But like Silver Surfer comes in as the herald of the Galactus trilogy, and yeah, it's like.
So, I mean,
there's a lot you can just off of X-Men and Fantastic Four. There's a lot they can do, and not have to worry about all this piddly stuff like Eternals and Shang-Chi and all that stuff. But we'll see what they do. I don't know what the hell Marvels. It occurs to me that Marvels for comic fans, like I know there's a current series too. Marvels means something different than I think what they're gonna do with that movie, because Marvels looks like just like anyone who is a Captain Marvel type of character will be in that movie. But Marvels is the ground view point of view of the superheroes. That's always what it's meant because of the Marvel series and the current Marvel series as well. But
what are you talking about, Johnny?
Marvels, the movie, The Marvels, which is Captain Marvel 2.
Wait. All right,
okay.
No.
Yeah, but it's like why would they have called it that? To comic fans, it means something else.
Right. That's why you were confusing me. I didn't understand what you were talking about.
Wait.
Yeah.
Sean, you're blowing my mind right now. What if the next Marvel movie is called Marvels and it's just an anthology? We just get no.
That would be cool. That's not what they're gonna do.
I mean, but they should this is just give you this is because the Fantastic Four, you know the story, so all you have to do is just say this happened, Fantastic Four, this happened, X-Men, this happened. Emily Blunt is getting paid Yeah, she doesn't want to do it. She wanted to be a Black Widow 10 years ago, and Marvel passed on her. And she's like,
I love when people like dreamcast these things. They're not going to get big name star, like all four are big name stars. There's no effing. I don't care how much money you have. There's no effing way that's going to happen. It's going to be up and coming stars that you haven't heard of yet, that you will hear of 4 years from now when they cast it. That's what it's really going to be.
Right.
Batman 1989, Michael Keaton, John Nicholson, Kim Basinger. Top cast.
Yeah, three people.
Tracy Is it Tracy Walter or what's the guy's name?
Arliss?
No, Bob, the goon, Bob. That's
Bob the Goon. He wasn't a big name star, but yeah.
He was from Conan the Destroyer.
I know, but he wasn't Jack Nicholson. I mean, the thing is great. Like Jack Nicholson was that one movie because he dies, and Kim Basinger, they wanted to go a James Bond route like they did for every movie.
Yeah,
so it's like different women for each thing. So you're really hiring, one star for multiple movies, right? You're not hiring 4 big name $20-30 million stars for like multiple movies. It's like it's not the same thing.
So Falcon Winter Soldier versus
I'm kidding. I'm reaching down. I'm just like, what about Ocean's 11? Clooney, Pitt, Damon.
Yeah, that's true.
Julia Roberts, Andy Garcia. I mean, Cole Bernie Mac, Casey Affleck.
I couldn't get into those.
I love those.
I couldn't get into the Oceans. I liked Oceans 12, and that's the only. And everyone seems to think that was the weakest one.
That was good. It was fun.
I like part 2. That's the only one I really liked. I bought part 2. That's the only one I bought. Was Oceans.
They're all
12.
way better than the original thing. So
because the ending was so good. Because like you can't get mad at it. Just leave.
Yeah.
the best heist is Deep Space Nine, where they try to save Vic Fontaine's casino. That was a good heist because Odo was like morphing and shit. You can't. That little Asian dude, he can't beat Odo. Odo's a shapeshifter. He'll turn into like a cup or something. It's like you can't beat that.
If you use the future, it's always going to trump the past. I mean, like, but also one thing about that Ocean's 11, the first one, the makeup thing when they were using the makeup to mark everything in the that was a firecracker.
Oh, okay.
No. Like I'm in SoCal, I'm not in that part of SoCal. No, they had this one part. Yeah, right. No, they had this one part where it was part of the plan where they would take makeup and mark the various parts of where they needed to go, and it would glow in the dark. And and one of them said, like, "Hey, can you imagine if you put this in makeup, it'll make for some very interesting nights."
Oh, dude! Before I get to Arkham's question, you know what you reminded me of? Gray, when you're talking about the glow in the dark thing, right. There's a series of movies called The Howling. It's about werewolves, right? After about part 1, it becomes a bit of after part 1, it literally is a farce. But part 2 has Sybil Danning in it. So if a movie has Sybil Danning in it, it's automatically 10 out of 10.
Okay.
And
I know how to spell name.
You're gonna look up Sybil Danning. Well, when you look her up, you'll know why it's 10 out of 10. But The Howling Part 5, for whatever reason, is actually a great film. And that takes place in the castle.
The moment Gray sees Sybil Danning. Anyway,
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what's happening. Yeah.
Right. So the thing is, in Howling Part 5, it's a murder mystery. One of the guests in this castle is a werewolf, and he's killing the others. And they go down, and there's all these tunnels in the castle, and they're using a piece of chalk to mark which way they walk, and someone's erasing them and like.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
It was so cool. Anyway, sorry, that's random.
That's cool.
So we talked very briefly. I did not read. Did you read Secret Files, Sean? I did not read this.
I didn't read Infinity War 1. No, Infinity Frontier 1.
Infinity Frontier. I was reading these. Sorry,
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of Eternals, so like, I'm reading old comics right now. So
I just got because once Acts of Vengeance. Oh, Clobbering Times. If you still happen to be on here, can you tell me if people and if you can type, do people like Acts of Vengeance? Because Sean dropped a bombshell last week and said nobody likes Acts of Vengeance, and I had a heart attack on screen.
I think a lot of people don't like that era of Marvel, and that's the era we grew up in, J-Man. So we love Evolutionary War. And we love like the Atlantis attacks and all that stuff, and that's just people didn't like that.
Okay, well, Clobbering Times is an old school.
So let's see.
So let's see what he says if he's still on here. If not, I'll tweet him. I'll private message him after. So once I finished the Acts of Vengeance thing, I or at least the Avengers part of it, I moved on to. I'm reading all the White Vision,
right?
All the White Vision.
I have all those ones, yeah.
The Right Vision.
No.
You said that, Gray. We
I know.
No,
the right wing vision, not the right vision.
Actually, right wing vision. He's the. You know what it is? Anybody who's like Spock's like one of the best fictional characters ever for me. Yeah. Anybody who's like a logical person, or that's why I like robots. I like Donatello. I like all the smart people all the time. I like the smart people. But Batman was really good this week, and Superman's been really cool. Robin is neat. That's a neat one.
I keep getting into Robin. Like I keep hearing good things. Like I don't hear a bad thing about it. I just like it's good. Like
it's good. Nightwing is freaking cool, right?
I know I'm speaking to like nobody here, but I'll just say, please, DC Comics, dear DC Comics, if you're gonna have backup stories, I've said this before, I'll say it again. When I read a Superman comic, I want a Superman backup story. I don't care about Bipple. I don't care about anybody. I don't care about Midnighter. I want another Superman story. What in hell? I don't even read those. It's like I don't care about like kid Wonder Woman. It's like if you have a young reader's Wonder Woman like story in a Wonder Woman comic, who's that for? Because the Wonder Woman comic itself and the cover is the sophisticated story, and then you get this backup story that's boring and I can't read it. It's like and it's funny because it's way too many word bubbles for a kid's story, and it's way too boring for an adult story. It's like she's running around and like that woman may or may not be evil. I don't care. It's like have something exciting. Like what in the hell is happening?
For some reason, the Trinity books have these backup stories. Like Nightwing doesn't have that. Robin doesn't have that. Supergirl didn't have that. Flash doesn't have it. I don't care about Midnighter as well. Is that an Authority character? Is that one of the Authority?
I think so, but
I never.
The story is boring. It's like they go in circles. Like, they're making these guys, and it's horrific, and like what is the point?
Yeah, and the Wonder Woman story, it's cute, but why is it cute when the gods have just been murdered? Like literally,
it doesn't even match the story that you've just told. You've had this thing where she's in a realm where people die and she's killing people and stuff in the battlefields and everything. And then there's this cutesy story where she's after a book. It's like it doesn't even match the tone. Who is this for? It's not for me. I just read an awesome story. Why am I reading this shit one?
Like, I don't know why DC is doing that, and it's so weird too because
it's kind of like wrestling. Like you can't have the heels win all the time. You gotta leave. You gotta have the good guy win at the end, so the audience can leave on a high note. So, like, it's weird because apparently the entertainment industry thinks that good stories are the ones with happy endings.
Right.
More interesting stories are the ones where the bad guy wins. I mean, Endgame. All right, seriously, I'm going to say this: Infinity War would have been amazing if Endgame had not come out. Because it would show the Avengers, like,
they tried their best to be lost. Yeah,
and because Endgame basically said like, hey, winning really doesn't matter if you could time travel, like, because
I to your point, Arkham, I understand the concept of putting an extra story for the money and everything, but why these stories? They can do anything. They can even reprint old stories that fans of the past 20 years probably don't know or something like that. Why? And that would even be cheaper. Why these they're not even in the same tone as the main story, and they're about characters I don't care about that aren't advertised in the title of the comic that says Superman or whatever, you know.
Or even if they were going to do that, like there's the current Superman has a little bit of stuff going on with Atlantis where there's a certain piece of technology. Why don't they have an Aquaman backup story?
Yeah.
Or
it used to be they had backup stories that had something to do, like something to do with what if like an Inhuman turned up. It's like, you know what? Here's an Inhuman backup story from this other thing, and they, but they're not even doing that.
Well, Batman had Penguin,
as
a backup story.
Yeah,
and I thought that worked because Penguin was cool. It was a little bit of a Penguin thing.
That's part of the brand. Yeah,
that's part of the brand. Hey, Pikachu, what's going on, dude? I just saw you pop in. So I don't know. The Wonder Woman one is weird because it is about Wonder Woman. I actually think it's a good idea to have a young Wonder Woman story, but the problem is that it's the art looks very cute.
Yeah,
and it's a very cute story. It's like Diana like getting into hijinks, and and I'm like, okay, but again, this does not match in tone or in style in any way to what we just read in the main story. So what is the point of it? That's the problem with that. So that's Arkham. I'm wearing my Hive shirt. Hold on, let me show you mine in full screen.
You mean 5 of the same girl?
Oh, sorry, Sean. I accidentally. Sean, are you wearing a cool shirt or?
I've worn this before. Superman.
Oh, you worn it before? All right, gray.
A real
G. I like that.
One who didn't know how to count.
That's
he didn't
awesome.
use math. He didn't know how to use math. He failed at math. It was horrible. Terrible.
All right. Okay, so where are we at here? So last episode was on the 13th. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Superman Lois is great. It's great. Arkham. So we talked about this already. Marcus.
Sean John.
I don't know who that is.
You skipped over. John wants to play Reed Richards. I had said that John Krasinski, I promise you he won't play. I know that actors always say, like, I want to do this, I want to do that. Like David Boreanaz wanted to play Batman. Everyone was on board, and he never did because they never went to him. Look, I want Krasinski to. I'm just saying I would be surprised and happy if he did play Reed Richards.
So it can happen.
Hollywood's Hollywood, and I know it's Kevin Feige, but now Disney is gonna they're run differently now. I mean, Variety just had a whole article about that they're like they're gonna be more marketing oriented rather than story oriented. So we'll see what happens.
Pikachu is now here.
Yes, Pika.
Pika, where are you? Oh, it's Scooby-Doo. Never mind.
You know what was on the other day at the Shintoku or something? What were they called? Remember from it was the South Park episode. It was just on the other day. The Shintoku or something. The
little Pokemon.
The little Pokemons.
Research in Alabama man. He's quick. He's strong. He's active. He's his wife.
Like he hears like subliminal messages coming from the toys to like undermine the government or something. And then he goes to the Japanese people and they're like, and he's like, oh, I heard some bullshit. And they're like, oh, you're American. And they're like, oh, you have a big penis. Your penis is so big. And he's like, oh, well thank you. Yeah. and they're like, yeah. And he's like, well, okay, well, thanks. Anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know about this message I heard. Like, oh, your penis is very big. And they're like, oh, yeah. He's like, okay, thanks. You guys are really nice. See ya. And it's like, what?
And then later on in the episode, they tried to do it with a woman, and it just didn't work. You can't just say that to a woman, dummy.
South Park is so funny.
South Park is classic.
South Park is great.
That's the hero that we need.
No.
Right,
so there's no Superman this week. I guess that's on break now for a bit.
Yeah, it's on later on in the month. And then it was like 2 episodes, and then it's on hiatus again. So
there was a secondary He-Man trailer which does seem to point more to the fact that it's going to be about Tila trying to, get
Save He-Man
together.
and the rest of the
And
thing.
it's literally just like a drainer of your excitement. Like you're all excited, you're like, and then
Yeah,
just,
I'll watch it because it has a lot of stuff. Like they show all the toys, they show the Eternia play
yeah,
set and everything.
it
But
showed you
it's like
place.
I'll watch it. The thing is, if people want to cut like a modern day take on He-Man that has all the characters and stuff, just watch the 2000X one. That seems like the best
Great.
one right now. So yeah.
But like but you know how Hollywood is nowadays. They do not care about the original if it offends their bottom line. Because like, I mean, all right, maybe this is me. It just seems like entertainment does not like if you are straight, strong male. If you're you're a conquering male, then you must be a barbarian and you killed a bunch of people. Yeah, that's kind of that's what a barbarian is. Like, no one. All right, name one pacifist that okay, not Gandhi. I was gonna say
Not in Gandhi Part 2 though.
Yeah. Name one conqueror, one with words.
Yeah, I mean,
look,
there's a new He-Man cartoon coming out later in the year though from Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's this year. So I don't even know what that's going to look like. We haven't seen anything from that. And that has its own toy line and everything too.
I think the thing is that, look, if you feel that a concept is so dated that you need to completely change it, then my advice would be to not even bother doing anything, because all it does is upset the fans that are already there. And Mattel just brought out the He-Man. The problem is Mattel just now brought out the He-Man Origins line, which is a quite a good line. It's good durable toys for children that can play with it. They're interchangeable, so there's that kind of coolness. You can the weapons are a bit sturdier. They're not as easy to bust, right? And it's like, so it's a great little toy line. Now they need a cartoon to get that get that in sync. So now the kids watch the cartoon, buy the toy. But now this cartoon doesn't look anything like the current toy line. That's the cheaper price point. It's the cheap price point that's out in stores everywhere now. My Walmart has a big display, a custom display for it.
Me too.
So now they've got Revelations coming out, and Revelations is going to have a separate toy line. Now, Revelations toy line looks like the price point's going to be much higher. Not as high as a Classics toy, but higher than the price point of the Origins line. So higher price point, more articulation, a little bit more adult-looking figures. That's telling you that this is an adult collector. But the cartoon that goes with it is literally not the cartoon that the adults want to see. They want to see He-Man beating up Skeletor. So look, this is a business, right? I don't understand how they're coming up with these business decisions at all. Whether you want to call it's virtue signaling, wokeness, I don't care what the terms you call it. This is not the cartoon that my age group wants. And if you want us to buy the toys based on this cartoon, then you have to make the cartoon what I want. Or you can make a kiddie cartoon and push your Origins line and do that.
Yeah. We had the cartoon that our age group wanted. It was when I was maybe 25 or something, but it was still. It works today. I saw some episodes. It's still good, and I like what they did with Prince Adam and He-Man. Like the He-Man design was great. All that stuff. Skeletor was hard ass. He was awesome. He looked wicked, and that was it for me. This new one, I'll watch it. The thing is, Mattel loses the rights to He-Man. I think next year. So they're pushing out He-Man. They got the classics. They got this Revelation. They got this Netflix cartoon. So they'll push out a product for that, and then it goes to Universal, and Universal will give it to the highest bidder, whoever that is. If it's Spin Master or somebody, I don't know. But
they'll probably give it to Blumhouse, make it into a horror comedy.
No, but I mean in terms of toys.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blumhouse isn't going to make toys, so unless he wants to do that.
I mean, there is a market for it.
I'm giving Pikachu the
I bought Comics Thursday,
I bought comics, so that's good. And the comic shops are like suffering.
Oh man.
Oh
They
yeah.
could do something else and like They need to sell something else on top of like. I mean,
well, they've done that. Toys, whatever. Yeah.
I mean, no, something that other people might want, like not just like. I always had this idea of doing like a comic book record store type of thing, but like no, you can't do that anymore. It's the business model is dead. Like,
you know what I would have loved to have done, and this I would never do this now, and it would never happen. But I would have done a comic shop that's pure comic books only, no Funko, no McFarlane toys.
Yeah.
Maybe statues, perhaps, but even that, but just purely comic books, no bags and boards, none of that stuff. You pull your comics off, you buy them, you leave, and it's like, and if they like the way I would want comics would be to go back to being cheap, maybe like $2, no bags and boards. Do whatever paper quality you can to get away with that. Because I was looking at some of the I recently rebought a lot of the old Youngblood and the early image stuff. They were still using the cheaper paper. They didn't go to the higher
paper. Yeah.
And it looks pretty good, and it's lesser quality. So it still looks really good, right? And those books, I think, hit like the $2.99 or something. They started to get a little bit more expensive.
I think they went to glossy paper because the computer stuff they were experimenting with the art, like the shading and fading and all that stuff, looks better in glossy. It doesn't look so good on newsprint paper. It's like those Archie. It's like those Archie digests. It's like the glossy, the ones that were meant for glossy paper with like the where they imprint cartoons or like have fading in them looks muddy in that paper. So
I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I love getting like an old book, like because you can get to see the old advertisements. And you're like, whoa, that was a long time ago.
The ads were great. It's like the ads themselves got boring after a while, but I loved like in the 80s, they had the 2-page spread of the new cartoons coming out. Those are awesome.
All right, I know you guys remember this. What is it? Fighters Mega Mix. Like, man, just I don't want to be that old guy, but things were better back in the 90s.
Whoa. Beavis and Butthead, man.
Beavis and Butthead, the movie, eh? Yeah.
Oh, I saw that in the theater.
Number one video pick.
Oh, right. Number one trash pick. Even though it has some funny moments. Great.
I love it.
That part where Beavis just going off on that bus before he gets his ass kicked by that bus driver.
Secret Wars MCU must have.
Yeah, everyone wants Secret Wars for the next big arc, right?
It doesn't make any sense.
The thing is, Secret Wars means something different probably to J-Man and myself than it does to other people. Because the latest Secret Wars is Secret Wars to people, but it's a grim, dark bullshit mess. It's not the Secret Wars. Well, sorry, but it's not the Secret Wars that I grew up with. Not classic arc, the 12 issues, but I don't know. It's sure. Go ahead and knock yourself out. I don't know.
I'm a little bit different because like I got into comics after the Secret Wars. I guess the first two had already come out, so around like 91, 92. Yeah. So I didn't grow up with Secret Wars. I just thought like, oh, it's one of those old things they had to do. And then when they brought it back in 2015 with Hickman, I was like, so we had to cancel a really good Storm book for this.
Yeah, that Hickman thing is what I'm talking about. That's what Secret Wars is to most people. There was a Secret Wars 2. It's awful, but I love it. I have the giant omnibus of it. Secret Wars 2 is the Beyonder wants to learn how to be human. So and there's a whole issue where Spider-Man teaches him how to take a poop. I swear to God, that's a comic, but there's no real big action or anything. Like he becomes a pimp at one point. It's really stupid, and he has these high collars and everything. And all the heroes, he tries to give birth to a new god, and all the heroes kill the new god. So basically, they kill a baby. That's Secret Wars 2. It's terrible, but I love it because I was reading comics at the time. So I love, it's awful though.
I'm trying to imagine a Beyonder Pip.
Hey Rick, thanks for joining us. I think you're new. I appreciate you dropping by. The Secret Wars TV show is not going to be like the comics, probably not. Basically, Disney's angle is
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. Oh, Secret Invasion. You're saying Secret Invasion. Okay, but well, even that though, basically what Disney does is they just take the name of the thing.
Yeah.
And then just make a story because Infinity War has nothing to do with the Infinity War comics.
Yeah. There's no Adam Warlock.
No Adam Warlock.
He's like the star of that whole thing.
Yeah.
Him and Thanos, like Thanos is like, come on, bro. Why? I got the rings. Join me. Like, come on.
That's okay, Rick. No, we were talking about Secret Wars, the comics. But somebody had mentioned Secret Wars, meaning, and they would say the correct themselves saying it's Secret Invasion. So that's fine. No worries about it.
Talos would be good.
Talos to me is the big giant guy where they have to unplug his shoe to drain the wine.
Yeah.
Really?
For Jason the Argonauts. I have the toy of it. Hey, Truth, what's going on, dude?
Hey, Truth.
Adam Warlock. So Adam Warlock.
Oh my God. Sorry, yeah.
Hey, Geek Studios. Adam Warlock. So he in MCU, he's the guy in that like little pod. It looks like a kind of a coffin.
At the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah,
but
so you know
in Marvel Comics, he's integral because he's the one that leads the charge against Thanos and all the Infinity trilogy stuff. So yeah.
So really, Infinity Gauntlet is where Thanos has acquired the full thing.
Yeah.
And he literally snaps and like he's gonna and he eliminates half the people. Now that's all. And I've got a figure of Thanos from that comic. Yeah. And the figure of Death has the interchangeable face. You can give her the very pretty female face, or you can give her the skeletal face. And he does that to impress Death, to show that he's like worthy of her love, and he's in love with Death. So then basically Adam Warlock and other heroes as well have to face off against this, and Adam Warlock literally convinces Thanos to just like stop. And then Nebula steals the gauntlet, which is sick, and she's a complete mad, she's like bonkers in the comics, at least in this time. And then they get it off of her, and then Adam Warlock literally splits the gems and gives Sean, keep me honest on this, but he keeps one. He gives one to Gamora, he gives one to Pip, he gives one to Drax, he gives one to Dragon, and he gives one to Thanos. He actually gives Thanos back an Infinity Gem. And the reason for that is that he says, you are never going to use it because you've already tried this thing and you realize the futility of it. So they become the Infinity Watch. Then in Infinity War, the Infinity War is that Adam Warlock cannot possess the gauntlet because he doesn't have enough, I don't want to say knowledge, what am I trying to say? Like he can't comprehend the power. So what he does is he splits himself into components. So there's like the good side, which is like a female, and there's the bad side of him, which is the Magus. Who's
Magus,
He looks like Adam Warlock, but he's purple. So then this purple Adam Warlock person, and he also splits into a female. So hashtag did this 100 years ago, right? So anyway, so the Magus then creates doppelgangers of everybody. Like there's bad guy.
There was a Super Nintendo game based on this.
Yeah.
So called I think Infinity Gems. Yeah.
So okay. So he makes all these villains, and the Infinity War is all of the regular heroes versus the clones, or not. They're not clones. They're
the
like
doppelgangers.
Doppelgangers, and that's the Infinity War.
Yeah.
The Infinity Crusade is the good side, the female, the woman, who literally separates everybody into who believes in God and like basically atheists versus believers. I don't know what you would like. What's
yeah. Believers of any religion.
Believers of anything. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be like Jesus or whatever, a Christian God. It could be anything. So there's the believers and then there's the atheists, and that's the Infinity Crusade. And that's why they use Crusade as the name. So that none of that's in this movie. So
Yeah.
like I'm watching.
I want to put out too, before the movies made all this mainstream popular, it was still fairly popular among young people. And I remember, I don't know if anyone remembers this, but ESPN had done a whole collaboration and did art for one of their magazines, and one of them was Kobe Bryant. This is 2010.
I'm still young.
And it's 2010 when MCU was. It's before even the first Avengers movie. They did a thing where Kobe Bryant has the Infinity Gauntlet. Do you remember this? Does anyone remember this? He has the Infinity Gauntlet, and all the other like NBA players are trying to get at him and stuff. It's awesome. Yeah. And that was like way before this was mainstream. It's awesome, man. You can find it on the internet. Yeah,
I'll find it right now.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for joining us, dude. James Gunn says that is not Adam Warlock, but who knows who's okay. So it could be right. So that might not be Adam, but
I thought he said that because they showed the cocoon from the comics in the collector's and he said that was a nice homage but was not Adam Warlock. So I think the thing at the end of Guardians 2 is, but the thing is I don't know. I kind of don't like listen. If you just heard what J-Man said about Adam Warlock, imagine that in a movie. Like, they're not going to, like, I kind of don't want them to do Adam Warlock in a movie because they're going to mess it up. Yeah, that's the thing with Kobe Bryant. He's like, oh, like, yeah.
Is that basket? That's basketball, right?
Yes, it's basketball.
Sorry, I don't know anything. I'm sorry, guys. Sumo started today. The only sport I watch is sumo. So I watch a little bit of UFC here and there. Yeah. Oh, that looks nice. That looks really cool.
I saw that back in the day, and I was like, wow, it's going mainstream. And I didn't know we'd be where we are today. I was like, oh wow, like people know what that is. That's cool.
And they're like, they just like, oh, that's supposed to be the NBA championship, right? No, it's not. It's more powerful than your NBA championship. It's just fun to say.
I mean, Suicide Squad members, it doesn't matter to me. Like, I liked Cavalier, and then he got killed in issue like 2 or 3 of not the current Suicide Squad, but the previous one. So I'm okay with anybody. I actually like Peacemaker. I think he's funny.
He's gonna get his own show. So
yeah. You saw this months. Okay, I always thought. All right, this may be for Suicide Squad. Has Task Force ever just like taken like a hero and just put him on the Suicide Squad?
Well, Superboy is on Suicide Squad right now. But it looks like, I don't know if he's being forced. I don't think that's been revealed. Arkham would probably know if he's reading Suicide Squad. But the only Suicide Squad series that I fully read is Nothing. Right now I'm reading this one. I always start out and then I kind of lose interest. And I don't know why that is. I think something inherent in me. I don't go with the villains that much. Joker's been the only comic book based on a villain that I've found very interesting. But again, that's because it's really Jim Gordon's book with Joker as sort of just like
foil.
Yeah. It's kind of like Death Note if there's any manga.
Yeah, I know Death Note. Basically, that was the first Black Batman we ever had. He was he was smart, he was rich, and he figured out who the bad guy was very early on, or at least that idea, or in the movie, I guess.
Oh, I know. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I never saw that. Yeah. I got the manga, anime, and the Japanese movies. Mm-hmm. I never saw the Netflix movie, but yeah, that was Light, right? That was L. That was L. Yeah. Okay. So anyways, so they're not going to kill off Deathstroke or whatever. No. Like that. That's like super not happening.
And that it's easy. You can just make another one. Like you just have to I don't mean to say it like that, but like Man-Bat, like he's kind of like he is Batman's the Lizard, so you don't really like you don't need a character for that. You can just get somebody with the serum, boom, done, man bad. You can't tell the difference.
I like that. I've got a good figure of her with the female face. So Thanos sees her as that beautiful woman versus the skeleton or whatever.
Yeah, I'm glad that they changed that in the movie and made it more of a philosophical stance, right?
Because they're basically saying love is bad. That's what they're.
Love is death, yeah.
Or I mean, I'm pretty sure Thanos sees her as that beautiful woman. I mean, if she's all skeleton all the time, would you run from Callista Flockhart?
She's a skeleton, I know.
Yeah, and Harrison Ford is married to her happily. Okay, allegedly. They're fine. They're fine.
Everybody in Hollywood is happy, trust me. And they're all better than us.
Okay.
Awards, yeah.
Better than Jack Black. I know that for sure.
I like Jack Black. He's good. He's part of what's it called? Tenacious D.
He died before I saw that, he died in the sequel to I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. So how crazy.
I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Jennifer, if you look at the poster for I Know What You Did Last Summer, Jennifer Love Hewitt's thingy is the whole poster. And you're like, okay.
That's not her. Yeah.
That's not true at all. Wait.
It is one of the posters.
I mean,
it's either I Still Know What You Did or it's first of all, they mistitled that. They mistitled it because calling it I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, but it's the summer before last. So you have to say I still know what you did 2 summers or the summer before last.
Well, to be fair, the second one starts out as soon as the first one leaves off. So like last summer.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right. It's so loud.
Right.
Well, Jennifer Love Hewitt was like my all-time favorite. Like I watched Heartbreakers twice in the theater, for Christ's sakes.
She's funny when she wants to be. I feel like she would have made. I would have been interested to see what she would have done if she was Maria Hill, or like some sort of like superhero character. Like, because you don't need superheroes you don't need big actors for every comic book character. Get some forgotten ones. Get Christina Ricci as the Thing's wife. That'd be cool. Like you don't even really have to see her all that often.
Yeah. I like Christina Applegate.
Die Hard 2.
Die Hard 2 might be my favorite Die Hard.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
You haven't seen Die Hard 2? I
haven't seen Die Hard 1 or 2. 3.
Oh!
I don't know. I don't have an icon for that.
Okay. All right. What kind of person is gonna walk around in broken glass with no shoes on? Okay.
Someone who's dedicated and trying to save the world, man.
He's trying
to save a building. That's okay.
Forcing him.
People work there.
I love Die Hard 2.
Hey, terrorist attack. Hey, we don't know what
there's hostages and stuff.
Hostages, or maybe they should have just gone home instead of having a Christmas party. Like,
his wife is there, guys. His wife is there.
Yeah.
Was she leaving him?
His wife is one of the hostages.
Wasn't she on the verge of divorcing him?
But he's not gonna like. No, listen. Die Hard's great, and Die Hard 2 is awesome too, man.
Don't point logic into this.
Die Hard was so influential that every action movie after that was Die Hard in a boat, Die Hard in a plane, Die Hard in a train, Die Hard in a
Die Hard 1 is 10 out of 10. Die Hard 2 is like 10 out of 10 because it's really good. I own those 2 on Blu-ray and I don't own the rest of them. Just because I couldn't.
He's okay.
That one was good.
The what?
Since Die Hard with a Vengeance with Sam Jackson.
Yeah,
that was funny. Sam Jackson saved that movie. Saved that. Sam Jackson is not bad.
I think Graham Greene saved that movie. Anyway.
I don't like the Death Note anime, but I like the yeah. See, thank you, Pikachu.
Well, but live action. Which live action? Because there's 3 maybe 4 live-action Japanese films, and those are pretty good. The first 2 are very accurate, although they eliminate the character of Nier because they don't cover the entire thing, but they end the end. Am I echoing? Am I sounding weird?
No.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. I've read the manga. I've got it all right there. And I have an entire collection of Death Note stuff. I have an L statue and everything. I love Death Note. I never saw the American version because it's an American version, and I'm like, I'm not watching an American take on this. I'm sorry. That's just
What's
me.
your British take on Batman?
Like the thing is, L needs to be a skinny, quirky, hair in his face Japanese guy who eats his little sweets. Like I can't see anyone. The guy who they got to play L looks exactly like the comic. Like it's exactly him.
Okay, I admit the person they got is not like source material accurate, but like the spirit of the character, it's there.
It's there, yeah.
Like you don't know anything about him. Like you can tell the actor was a fan, like
of the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's Adam Marcus, I think, who's the director. I like him usually. Okay.
You guys think Kang will be the big? Oh,
Kang's in the next multiverse, or no? What's it called? Quantum craziness or something?
Yeah. In the multitude of madness, multiverse of madness.
Multiverse of Madness, yeah.
No, he's in the other one.
No, he's in Ant-Man 3. If you look at the premises of these movies, so there's Doctor Strange comes out first. There's a Spider-Man movie where I guess there are a bunch of like multiverse Spider-Mans will be in it. There's then after all those, there's Ant-Man 3 where Kang will appear. I think Kang will probably have a problem with what's going on with the multiverse crossovers of Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, and probably end up being a big bad for a larger arc. That would be interesting. Or he'll just turn up and die. I don't know. I think he's signed up for multiple movies, that dude. He's from Lovecraft Country and stuff. So yeah.
Jonathan Majors, he's great.
He's awesome, yeah. Well, now he's the It guy, right? So
kinda. I mean, like he's in this movie that I really want. This cowboy movie called The Harder They Fall, and it's so good. It looks so badass. But with Jonathan Majors as Kang, I think that's really cool because essentially Kang is Doctor Who. He's just like evil Doctor Who, and anytime you see him, he's just a different version. So like, if you guys see me right here, like next time you see me, like, oh man, that was me from like 6 years ago. That guy was crazy. He was about to go, like, did you guys ever see Hot Tub Time Machine?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, it's the end. It's the ending where they all was like, oh, the multiverse. And then they had that one guy, he's like, yo, we can do all this. And then they just shoot him. Like, yeah, that guy was bad.
Yeah, Kang could be great.
Yeah.
Razal Gomir and Army, that's cool.
He did. Kang must be the big bad for it. I mean,
yeah, so I think he probably will do something.
No. You don't want to hear my doom and gloom predictions about.
No, we're not going to go into it, Sean.
I want to. Doom and gloom.
No. I've got to log off in 20. I've got to log off in 20 minutes.
Okay.
All right. Hey, you should do what they did with Loki. Take the movie that you want to have and just condense into 6 episodes.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen.
Or you need a director's cut. We need a Sean cut of his. The Sean cut.
You like the American live action? But Marcus doesn't.
It's so
So I'm not trying to cut up the American version, but this is my thing. I'm like, this doesn't, like, the Japanese stuff has a very unique feel to me, and you can't replicate it. I love, like, it's like the Japanese Godzilla movies versus the American Godzilla movies. The American Godzilla movies are the best version that you can get out of America, but there's something there that's missing. It's like same with Lone Wolf and Cub, like where they do the baby cart movies and all that. It's like, I just can't. I don't know. There's something lost in translation for me when I do that.
Yeah. Death Note was a cat and mouse story, and it was very clever. And I haven't seen that even in the Japanese live action adaptations. I haven't really seen that come through.
No, it's
so
not.
Yeah,
I think it's too difficult to do it in a movie, because
it should have been like an
really-
HBO miniseries or something,
Yeah,
or like
'cause, like, when
Netflix.
Elle
Well, it
died-
was on Netflix, but they didn't do a good job of it.
So
Yeah.
does Elle die in the movie?
No.
Yeah.
Wait,
No,
does?
yeah. And there were 2 movies, and Elle dies in like.
No,
one
no,
of
no,
them.
no, 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 Sean. I know that. I'm talking about the American one.
I didn't
no.
see it. No.
No. They just kind of leave it at a cliffhanger. They leave it open for a sequel.
Oh, yeah, because Elle dies halfway through the books, and then Nier takes over, and it's like a completely different thing. And because like light, like Raito, which what they translate as light, because they can't. There's no R's, right? It's just like becomes an L. It's like light. So Raito, and Kira, and they call the thing Kira, but Kira means killer. Like it's actually the way they say killer. They say Kira. So it's like Kira just means the killer, but then they named it Kira or whatever, which is weird, I guess, but whatever. But he calls himself Kira in the Japanese one too. But I think it just means like killer. I think that's the way they're saying it. Depending on the translations you read, they sometimes translate it slightly differently in the manga. Okay, Ant-Man 3 is the
Quantumania or whatever. Yeah.
something.
And then in Quantumania, like negative zone. I bet you they're just with the Fantastic Four.
Like Blastars in there.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you're like, oh god, like, would it be really funny if the Fantastic Four were the villains in the Ant-Man movie, but it's just more of a misunderstanding? And like we see Blastar, and we get, but they do Blastar, but they make him like kind of like funny, but then they switch it and they make it seem like, oh no, he is the bad guy. It's just like, like it's a misdirect. Like make Blastar super funny, make him super cute, and then like when they show the Fantastic Four, they see Blastar and they see the people with him, like they're with him. We gotta take them all out, and it kind of goes on from there.
I was joking about Blastar because no one knows who that is. But
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
I posted a link, but this is not my normal computer, and this computer is older, so I don't know if it's gonna crash or if it's gonna be okay, because it was freezing a bit with Gray and Steve and Sean when we had 4 of us on. It was freezing a bit on my end. I don't know if you guys looked okay, like if I looked okay to you.
Yeah, you're fine.
You looked okay this whole thing, yeah.
This whole thing, yeah, because on my end, Sean, when there's 4 of us, it was really getting a bit wonky. So I might try the laptop again and just try the landline connection and hope for the best. Hey Pikachu, what's going on?
Yo, what's up?
Hey,
Pikachu.
it seems okay. It seems like it's not too bad.
Ah, shit! It's saying that I can't get on camera. Damn.
Oh, okay.
On my end, I don't think that would be on my end.
Yeah, it's on my end because this has been happening.
Okay.
Oh, there we
There
go.
we go.
But
Oh,
see,
what the
And
hell?
there you're not.
Alright, never mind.
Pika sad. Pika sad.
You're damn right.
yeah, well, we can hear you, so that's good enough. And again, I don't know how good it's going to be with
Work.
multiple people.
Oh, there you go. He found.
I swear to God, this is pissing me off.
Annihilus, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Galactus would be cool.
Annihilation.
Wait, does everyone here watch anime?
I only watch some things. Sometimes if I have read the books, I won't watch the anime. In Death Note's case, I have watched. For Death Note, I've read everything and seen everything except for the American movie. It depends. Like Titan, I'm like a season behind because I wait for the Blu-ray to come out. So sometimes I'm behind. My wife reads about 15 to 20 manga chapters. No, 15 or 20 manga like a month, and she just started a new one just today, and she reads everything. So she'll read and watch anime. Oh, Arkham's in here. Let's get Arkham.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, dude.
Hey, what's up, AG?
So yeah, so we do watch a little bit. Sean is not into it as much. Greymalkin, no, not into it as much.
Yeah, I don't like anime.
Why is that? It's very hard for me. What's the reason, guys? Like, is there a reason it just hasn't broken through?
It's not that I don't like it. It's just there's so much of it. I have trouble keeping up with what I like now. So
with me, like I tried anime. I just don't like the stories are good, but like they're like I'm a DC person. Like the stories just don't catch my attention. Like it doesn't get me very invested in it like everyone else.
I think the thing is you got to be careful of the use of the term anime, because anime is not a genre. Anime is a format where you tell stories.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, this is why manga is soaring through the roof, and American comic books, which is to say mostly American superhero comic books, aren't doing as well. And the reason for manga is that it's always been true to the story. If you read chapter 1 of volume 1 of the first Tankobon, or however you're reading it by chapters, if you read chapter 1 of One Piece and then you read chapter 500 of One Piece, it's still awesome because it's the same person that continues it on. When they feel that they can't tell the story anymore, they complete it. And the thing is that it always remains true. Like, if you're someone who really wants to read about, two men or two boys who are in love, there's literally we lost Pikachu. There's literally a genre for that, right? Like, it's like literally a book for that. Hey, Movie King, what's going on, dude?
What's going on? What's going on, guys?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
So the thing is, it's like anime, because it's so open, it's just a medium to tell stories. Same with manga.
Yeah.
Sure.
So if you want to see, like, there's literally ones that are about like harems, right? Where it's like a boy in an all-girls school and stuff like that, and that's a genre. They're very targeted audience. It's like, if you want to see boy-on-boy relationships or girl-on-girl, or if you want to see superheroes, there's My Hero. If you want to see, cat and mouse, there's Death Note. If you want to see
crime, yeah,
it's like I see. It could be my computer, guys. It doesn't like. That's why I was a bit hesitant to throw the link up there.
Oh, all right, but J-Man, like from just speaking for myself, anime manga, from an outsider's point of view, it just seemed like for people who got tired of American comics, you were like the scorned American comic book fans, like, you know what, I want to go someplace else. I want to go to another get my stuff from another country because this and because they've been so burned by DC or Marvel or what have you.
And it might be superhero burnout too. Like I could see how Attack on Titan is a breath of fresh air for some people. It's horror, sci-fi, big monsters crushing people. It's cool, and it's different and out there, right?
Hey, guys.
And it's not like an 80-year-old superhero arc.
So I've got you guys on here, but again, we might lose people here and there.
Like with me with anime, like I don't hate it, but like I watched, I think it was like they had this style. I think with DC, I think it's Batman Ninja. Like I did not like the style. Like,
I thought Batman Ninja was pretty good.
I did like the story. Like it was good in the beginning, then it went down. I just like it's just like. It's not like I don't hate it. It's probably just not for me. Like,
no, that's fine.
And it's not for you.
Arkham, you gotta think. Remember, anime is not a genre. It's like, this is what you're saying. It's like, what you're saying is, I don't like movies. It's like, I don't like.
I love movies.
Hold on, but that's what you're saying. It's like, well, I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 4, and you know what? Movies just aren't for me. They're just, I don't know. And it's like, that's what you're saying when you say anime. Anime is just a form of showing that art. Okay. It's like, if you don't, it's like the art style in manga is different for every book. Like, some of them are crazy good. If you watch what's Guts? Berserk. Yeah. If you look up Berserk, it's crazy art. It's crazy. And the Batman anime version, that's just making it look like anime, so that's fine. If you don't like that style for Batman, that's totally acceptable. I didn't like it. I didn't watch it.
Consider it as a genre every time people talk about it.
Yeah, it's not a genre. It's a medium. It's literally like saying I don't like music. I don't know. I heard this song, a few years ago, and I didn't like
Oh,
it.
so it's about the entire thing, not just like, oh, like if I like rap, it's like, oh, I don't like gospel music. That's not like anime. No, I was saying you don't like music. Okay,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and if you say you don't like anime, it's like, well, what are you talking about? What does that mean?
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah. Because when I talk to other people consider one part of that genre. So I.
Yep.
But it's not.
Typical porn. That's
Yep. You know what? For me, I basically only watch one anime, but I couldn't really get into other anime because for me, it just felt the same and boring. It just felt the same.
Right. I mean, I can kind of see that.
I understand, but again, it's like saying, well, I watched Die Hard. That's kind of like John Wick. It's the same. There's people in it. They're shooting. It's the same. But it's not that. It might visually seem similar to you, but manga definitely is different because they're all different artists. They're different artists and creators. Now, maybe the same creative house produces the same anime, which some people say this looks similar. But comic books, it's the same thing as like if you look at DC, like some people say the Marvel movies all look the same, right? But they're not actually.
I mean, they do have the same formula.
I mean, they have the same formula, like hero kicks ass and they look good.
But the stories are different, and it just like it's different. I
don't think it's happening, Zach. I don't think our buddy's coming in here. He's not. Pikachu.
Oh, Pikachu. Maybe he has better internet. Everyone has the KFC Wi-Fi.
Oh, God,
yeah.
Rough. It's like I have no problem with anime. I mean, like I used to watch Vampire Hunter D, Akira, North Star.
But you know,
wait, can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, the camera's not working. All right.
Yeah, I could say the same thing. Sometimes the browser just shuts off the camera, but in some ways it's just a little thing. It's all right.
Ah, my ears. Don't just open up a can.
Oh, J-Man.
Can I just say? I'm gonna say this.
Did you see the Long Halloween Batman animated movie?
I got Long Halloween. Yeah, I got.
Did you like it?
I
have
watch
not.
it because
you didn't watch it. It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not good.
It's good.
I put a question in the comments for you guys.
Oh, sorry. What did you put it?
If you can make it just this week.
So does anyone else in here like anime or no?
I do.
Like I said before, I only like one anime, but the only reason I couldn't get into others is because, like I said, it felt the same. Because one of the main problems I have with anime is that they always got to explain the obvious. Which, like, shut up! Like, stop explaining the obvious. Like, something really get annoying sometimes.
The thing is, it's like, again, anime, because they're all completely different stories, right? Like because like
for some reason I felt this feels the same.
Yeah, but I mean, but literally, I have anime. Like, there's a series called Urutsuku Doji where this guy makes a deal with a demon. He literally chops off his penis. He attaches.
What? Are you serious, bro? What hentai manga did you read?
That sounds like something you read off of Rule 34.
Right,
bro,
so
that sounds like something that came out of a hentai fan fiction. Like what the hell?
You can look it up. You can look it up. It's called Urutsuku Doji.
Like someone actually made a deal with the devil to get their dick cut off.
He does it himself, and he puts a demon one on, and it grows big and stuff.
What is this?
So this is what I'm saying. Anime is not the same. Like, you're only seeing Netflix anime, and Netflix is choosing certain books to present to you that way.
I think I'm fine with Netflix anime.
Because the only anime I ever watched is fucking Naruto, and that's pretty much it.
My first anime.
Naruto is very good. My wife has read the entire thing of that, but Naruto and One Piece are not similar in any way, right?
They kind of.
I mean,
where did we go?
I've lost some people here.
Hey, J-Man, guys, I'm about to go around the barbecue, but
I'm still here.
I want to hear you guys. Not his. Because he's leaving. Bye. I want to hear you guys' answer to my question that I posed.
So I mean, are you talking about from any different anime? I'd probably put Lone Wolf with Goku, with Guts, with Senku.
I got Guts too.
I'd say Senku. I'd say I'm looking at my wife's collection. It's easier for me to look at her stuff. Yeah, Guts for sure. Goku.
Have you ever seen Bleach?
Oh my
Bleach,
god.
no, Bleach is a different guy. Goku is Dragon Ball. Okay, so Goku's from Dragon Ball. Senku is from he's the scientist. I can't remember the name. Where everyone's turned to stone. I can't remember the name of it.
It's called Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone.
Oh my god.
Guts is from Berserk.
Oh.
I'd probably say L from Death Note, and with him being alive, of course. And Lone Wolf, Ogami Itto.
Andrew's in the back.
I got mine.
All right, what's yours? Go for it.
For I got a screen share thing. So if you're alright with that, for Superman, I got pick Goku. Who else? For Batman, I'm actually gonna go with Sasuke.
Oh,
Sasuke!
nice.
Oh yeah. Batman is kind of like Sasuke.
That's
so,
nice.
Oh wow.
And then for Wonder Woman,
Oh, so I've got her
Kill la
blade.
Kill.
I have a letter opener of her sword from Kill la Kill.
I feel like Ryoko feels too emo to be Wonder Woman.
I mean, this is based off of anime, and everyone else was either bad or just too OP. So, all right, for Flash, I got Deku.
Yeah,
Oh,
Deku's
well.
cool.
I can see that a little bit.
And then for Aquaman, I got Guts.
Guts.
Oh, it's a little bit.
Okay.
I watched a little bit of Bleach. But,
I read
Marcus.
the first 20 Tankobon volumes of Bleach, and then I just stopped because I just too much.
They kind of stopped too. I got to the part when they were trying to break her out of the social side, but I kind of stopped because it was starting getting boring a little bit.
I had no one for Cyborg, so I picked Kirito.
Okay.
Oh,
Wait,
One
what about
Punch
that-
Man. Nobody wants to pick Saitama.
Who would he be? He's only Superman, but Goku's Superman.
Yeah, he's Superman.
Goku was still lose to Superman, though.
Yeah. God.
Okay, so that's a good. I like that. I think that's a pretty good.
Yeah, I can't answer that question because I haven't watched enough.
Andrew! The only good old Spider-Man scene is the Sandman scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're saying the only good scene in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, is the Sandman.
Now Spider-Man 3 is actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I mean all the Sam Raimi. Yeah.
I don't want to bash on Spider-Man 3 because I think there's a lot of good parts in it.
Finger
Yes,
banging.
yes.
He's finger banging girls on the street.
Dr. Snow is very good. Dr. Snow is very good.
Why is Andrew talking?
I've never seen Dr. Stone.
Everyone just like was turned to stone at some point in time, and then slowly people are coming back to normal, and they're trying to build society again and different. And Senku is like a scientist, and they actually have real scientists that they consult with to make sure that all of his things are actually real, based in real life or whatever. It's pretty cool. My wife likes it.
J-Man, I have a question.
Oh my wow.
What are your thoughts on supposedly the Nightwing movie is still in development and Chris McKay is giving more information on it? If it does happen, what would you want to see in? Because would you want to see in theaters or this HBO Max thing with Ubito and Stack Shock and
just bring back the Snyder Cut, please.
I would, but Nightwing is dead in Snyder Cut.
I mean, the Snyderverse. Just bring back the Snyderverse, please. That's all I need.
This will be in this new DC universe where
I kind of
the
find it ironic
Snyderverse is
that
actually erased and this new DCU where they bring back everyone.
I still don't understand how you can have a DC multiverse but not have the Snyderverse. It's like.
But my question is, would you want to have it the Nightwing movie in theaters or just on streaming service?
Will it succeed in theaters? That's the question.
I'm okay with either because streaming. It used to be back in the day that if it was on TV, the quality wasn't that good. But now the quality of television has been lifted so high that some TV shows look almost as good as movies or better in some cases. So I think I'm okay. It depends on the story you want. I'm good with the TV show. What do you think, Sean? You think you'd do a Nightwing TV show? That'd be cool.
And Nightwing TV show. Before all this pandemic stuff happened, movies were the biggest microphone. So if you had a movie, you had a big like impact on pop culture and media. And people knew what you were about when like that was the biggest introduction for characters was movies. So I think when people ask, do you want a movie or do you want streaming, they're really asking like how big of an impact do you want Nightwing to have on pop culture? How many people do you want to know what Nightwing is?
Good point.
It's like everyone knows what Thanos is now. And J-Man, no one knew what the hell Thanos was when we were reading comics. So like, back in the day when and they had Infinity Gauntlet. So like, yeah, I mean, it would be great if there were a big Nightwing movie and everyone's like, Nightwing, that's awesome. And then there's like a Nightwing 2, 3, and 4. That would be cool.
Good points.
But it's like, I don't know if that world exists now post all this. And if a streaming is the best way to go.
It's too early.
Yeah, like I know Chris McKay's still making the movie, and like, I still, but I think it's probably because he talks about like with previous interviews, he talks about the multiverse and stuff like that. It's not gonna be in like the main canon, but it's gonna be on its own Earth where he can tell the stories that he wants to do. So like, he talked about having like Batgirl and Batman involved in his stories. Because like the Batgirl and Nightwing relationship with Barbara Gordon, you have to have like it's like you have to have like Batgirl with Nightwing because they have like a big relationships in the comics. So like if this does happen, I would be fine with either. But I'm just excited that
you guys are experts. To me, if you need other characters to be with Nightwing isn't that strong character. But I don't think that's true. Like, why can't you have a Nightwing movie where he fights a main guy, learns a bit more about himself, and it's a Nightwing movie? Why does it?
I'm not saying he needs those characters, but like I want them to be introduced in like in some sort of fashion. Like I'm not saying like you have to have like all of them in the first movie. No, like I'm just saying like Barbara Gordon and Nightwing is a big impact within the Nightwing character,
right?
And like I would want to see that introduced. And like if this is on another Earth, I'm fine because like it's called the multiverse for a reason. Like you can have all these. If he wants to, like it could be like Joker. I know some people don't like that movie. But it's an Elseworld story, and it's on its own Earth. But you can do the same thing with certain characters like Nightwing. That's not connected to the Snyderverse, and it's not canon, and it can be its own story that has those characters in it. And I think that would be fine.
All right, what do you? I'll ask Marco and Pikachu your thoughts, and then I gotta go. So, what are your thoughts on that Nightwing? Would you want a TV series or a movie or?
Well, I mean, for the fact that we already have a live-action Nightwing in like Titans, but if I were to see like a Nightwing in movie theaters or something, I guess I would probably say, okay, I'll go see that movie and be curious to what that director says. I mean, sure, yeah, I'll be interested.
Do you think movies have more of an impact or TV shows now? Because when we were younger, movies was the big time. Like that's what people really cared.
I think they both have an impact in general because I'll give good examples. Like, for example, the MCU has an impact on Marvel comics in general. Like, people, when they think of Marvel, they think of the Marvel movies. Also, I think DC has an impact with not just the movies, but also the TV shows as well. When people think of Young Justice, they don't think of the comics version. They think of the Young Justice characters from the said TV show. Yeah. And also when they think of like the Teen Titans roster, they don't think of like Speedy, Wonder Girl, Aqualad, or Kid Flash. They think of like Robin, Starfire, Cyborg, Beast Boy, and Raven. And it's because the media has like popularized of said characters. They both have an impact. So whether if it's in live action or animated show, like it does well, then people would consider it. For example, Oliver Queen in the comics is much different than the Arrowverse. And for me personally, I like the Arrowverse Green Arrow. And also for me, whether I choose Ezra Miller or Grant Gustin, I grew up with Grant Gustin since 2014. So yeah, I would like Grant Gustin's character because I actually watched the Flash TV show up until this day. I mean, as for Ezra, he has a really good Flash, but we haven't seen much of him. So yeah, I mean, I guess that doesn't mean he's a bad
Okay, so
Flash,
yeah,
though. I
yeah,
think he's a pretty good Flash in his own right.
Yeah. Okay. So Pikachu wants to tell us what the comics we got, and then we're going to wrap it up. So go for it. You got the last words there.
All right. The first one that I got, it was a given. Spawn, issue 319.
Do you have all the Spawn comics? Like
No, I'm
1-3?
working towards that. I'm working towards that.
So why don't you and I, because you private messaged me or whatever it's called on Twitter, why don't we talk about Spawn? Because you're the only person that's ever talked about Spawn, and I actually collected the first 50 issues. So why don't we do that? Because everyone talks about Zack Snyder all the time. It's like I'd rather get new topics. I know Sean.
I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
Because Spawn is you seem like you really know. Like if you're buying the latest issue of Spawn, which I saw in the shops. It's like that means that you're like really heavy into it. So I like that because I saw Spawn in the theater. I have the original theatrical poster, 27x40, double-sided. I think it was double-sided poster. I got the soundtrack from that movie. Man, I saw it in the front row first day, opening night. I was like so pumped. I've got the figures from the movie. I met Jessica Priest. She's my favorite actress, the girl who plays Jessica Priest in the movie. I met her. And it's awesome. Anyway, so go ahead. So you got Spawn. Yeah, what else did you got?
The next comic is Catwoman for obvious reasons. Issue 31. And all of this cost me over, I want to say, $30. Wow. And I got 8 comics. Next one was the U.S. Agent.
Yeah,
because he's one of my new favorite characters.
Yeah.
Next one is Batman Beyond, where on the front cover it's OG Batman taking on I forgot his name.
I didn't see that. Is that a new comic or old?
I think that's from Rebirth. Like Rebirth, they stopped doing Batman Beyond. Then in Infinite Frontier, if you read the I think Batman Urban Legends, I think issue 7 in September, they're reintroducing the Batman Beyond character in the comic books, and he's getting his own comic book series again.
You're fighting because the timeline got screwed up.
Oh wait, speaking of comics, I actually just got this yesterday, and I am halfway through the story.
Nice.
I have to admit, I am pretty hooked on this.
Cool.
The next one is Black Widow.
Widow, yeah.
Catwoman, and then I got a Far Cry comic book, and then last one is Batman Superman.
Oh, I've got to get on that series, man. Jesus Christ.
Batman / Superman or Batman?
Batman.
How
it's
is
just
that,
Batman
Arkham?
Superman.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Batman? Are you reading Batman Superman Arkham?
Yeah. I really like it. It's the one where they're like going on different Earths. I think it's very interesting. Like this someone's controlling and where like each Earth is different, and I like how. I think it's a very interesting story than we are used to with Batman and Superman.
Okay.
It's more intriguing.
I need to get that series.
Like I'm really liking it. Like to me, like it's very good.
I'm gonna have to get a digital because I'm way too far
next week I'm gonna be picking. Next
What
week I'm
issue
gonna be
was that?
picking up a lot.
What issue was that, Pikachu? What number? Superman?
For Batman and Superman or
Yeah.
Batman Superman, it was issue 1 actually.
Oh, so you're getting the trade.
Oh, that's very far beyond. I'm like at issues. I think 18 or 16. I don't know.
Okay, so yeah, I've got to get that digital. There's no way I'm gonna catch up. Hey, Andrew, I just saw you pop in, dude, but I gotta shut this. I gotta go right now.
So J-Man, I'll message you about the whole Spawn thing today before I get it.
Down for Spawn because you're a Spawn guy, so I'm down for that, man. And the
I
Spawn
forgot.
boys were very.
I'm gonna
important.
forget, so I'm just message you tonight and
Message
you
me,
can message me back whenever.
All right, Jay. Okay.
All right, guys.
All right,
care.
J-Man. Bye. Happy 4th of July.
Bye.
Happy 4th of July, everyone.
guys.
Happy 4th of July.
Bye.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up then. Thanks for joining us. And on this Wednesday, I'm gonna be on the Action Elite, and we're gonna be talking about Death Wish. Yeah, I love Death Wish. So all 5 movies or 6. There's a remake.
6, yeah.
Arg remake. But and then I'm getting my second dose this Thursday, so I don't know how I'm going to be feeling. So I'm going to have to see about live streaming. We'll see how we do. So I'm going to play it pretty loose. But all right, guys, thanks for joining us. Be seeing you.